It is a spectacular day in Tempe, Arizona, as the Oakland Raiders take on the Arizona Cardinals in the AFC West. Denver plays tonight against the Colts. The Chargers just got drilled in Miami. The Chiefs play right now in Seattle. And in the NFC West, the Cardinals behind the 49ers and the Rams. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan with Randy Cross. Oakland has won 2 consecutive games. The question begs, are they back?
I think they're back, but Bill Callahan calls games like this a setup game, and rightfully so. But he's got veterans to keep his team focused. Plus, hey, the Arizona Cardinals beat them last year in Oakland by a field goal in overtime.
That's right. Great game. Now let's talk about the Cardinals, who have lost 3, make it 4 straight games.
Well, Thomas Jones, former first-round number 1 draft pick at running back, well, he breaks his hand mysteriously Friday night. That means Marcel Shipp starts at running back. Marcel, they're going to feed you. They got to run it. Just keep Gannon off the field. And Dwayne Starks, free agent signee from Baltimore, you're going to have to see a lot of Jerry Rice, a lot of Tim Brown. Get your track shoes on, baby.
The third member of our crew is on the sideline. That's Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Watch number 81, Frank Sanders, 8th-year man out of Auburn, veteran wide receiver for the Cardinals. Now, he'll pull double duty today. He's a player and he's a coach. Let me explain. It's Frank, a second-year man, and 3 rookies at a banged-up wide receiver position. So Frank will get the formation from Jake Plaummer as soon as possible so that he can remind the youngsters where to line up and perhaps even their responsibilities on a given play. So the inexperience at the wide receiver position is a key back upstairs.
All right, Beasley, thank you very much. A pretty good crowd here, but Randy, as you might expect, with a team struggling like the Cardinals and a team thriving like the Raiders, there is a Raider feeling inside this stadium today.
Well, and not only that, there's a wonderful feeling. Look at the weather, 75 degrees. Hi, this is perfect, and this is the fastest grass track surface in the NFL. So this really plays into the hands of the Raiders, who have developed into a passing/speed type football team.
Sebastian Janikowski will kick off for Oakland, and deep back is a player who was on the roster put on last night, number 11, Kevin Casper. With the injury to Jones, they pick up Casper, who earlier this week was cut by Seattle. You may recall him with the Denver Broncos before that.
The only thing he's done for Arizona Cardinals is pass a physical. What's that tell you?
And the kickoff by Janikowski. We are underway in the Valley of the Sun. Casper looking up into the sun at the 5-yard line. And then he was tripped up and brought down on the play by reserve tight end Marcus Williams. A return of 16 yards. Jake Plaummer is the quarterback, throwing at 54%. This line will block for him Shelton, Kendall, Starkey, Roundtree, and Davis.
Leonard Davis, the right tackle, 75, is the one to watch here.
In the backfield, Marcel Shipp with Joel Makovica, Frank Sanders, and McAdley, and the tight end Freddie Jones, the ex-San Diego Charger.
Every wide receiver, it seems, besides Sanders that they had in training camp is currently either on injured reserve or on the street. They got more wide receivers wearing single or double-digit team numbers than do 80s.
It's Plaummer at his own 22 and facing first down and 10. He's got Bush, the tight end, in the backfield, and Marcel Shipp gets the call and finds a hole and busts into the secondary before he is brought down by Derek Gibson. It's a 15-yard carry up to the 37-yard line. Now the defensive line for the Raiders: Armstrong, Adams, Perella, and DeLawrence Grant.
That was right at the strength of that line, right at Sam Adams and John Perella.
Smith will start in the middle for Harris. Romanowski on one side and Barton on the other. In the secondary, the corners Woodson and James. The secondary with the safeties Woodson and Gibson. First down and 10, 37-yard line. Shipp again, blocked by Joel Makovica. Then DeLawrence Grant and Trace Armstrong will wrestle him down with no gain on the play. In fact, maybe a half-yard loss inside the 37-yard line.
I mentioned that Bill Callahan refers to these kind of games as setup games for the Oakland Raiders, and rightfully so. I mean, here's a team coming off a couple of strong wins against Denver and New England, who's in a division where every single win's going to be vital here in the last month and a half of the season. And realistically, how do you concentrate and give the Cardinals your undivided attention and say, this is a great team? Because, folks, this is not a great football team in Arizona.
Second down and 10 inside the 37-yard line. Plaummer gets a block from Shelton, moves up in the pocket, chased by Adams, dives ahead and gets just beyond the 37 for a gain of 1 near the 38. Not much there for Jake Plaummer. And how do you assess Mr. Plaummer in his 6th NFL season?
Well, you know, he's at the end of his contract. He hasn't been offered a new one here in Arizona, and part of it's from performance. I think part of it, how do you judge a guy that doesn't have really healthy wide receivers, hasn't had his offensive line together, doesn't have his regular #1 running back running like a #1 running back? What you're going to see out of Jake today is, just watch that last play. He looked kind of flustered. Jake has to be patient. He can't be flustered. He's just got to take the little things and not try to force big ones.
3rd down and 9. Ship in the backfield in the shotgun. That's Frank Sanders in motion. And good time for Plaummer. Throws right on the money, and it's dropped at midfield. He had his receiver, and that's the young rookie out of Alabama, Jason McAdley. So they got a punt on their first possession. He's got a bad bicep, and that was thrown kind of in that area.
Now you can see that on his right arm. There's a patch of white. That's like an old knee pad just kind of sitting on there protecting his bicep. And that looked exactly where that pass hit him, and he couldn't hold on.
Scott Player will punt. And deep back will be Charles Woodson inside the 15-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. Very little breeze inside Sun Devil Stadium this afternoon. And Woodson's going to run it from the 23. And brought down the play by the guy that centered the ball, number 48, Nathan Hodel. And a 38-yard punt with a 4-yard return. McAdley, had he caught the ball, would have kept the Cardinals alive. We're back in Tempe, Arizona. Arizona just punted to the Raiders, who have it for the first time. You're looking at one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, #1 in yards, #3 rated, Rich Gannon. On the 28, he's got it 1st down and 10. With an empty backfield to start things offensively for the Raiders. And Gannon has it knocked down in the middle by the lineman Fred Wakefield, who is a rookie free agent a couple years ago out of Illinois. On the line, Sims, Collins, Robbins, Middleton, and Lincoln Kennedy.
2 years ago, the best run-blocking line in the league. Suddenly now, 2 years later, the best pass-blocking line in the league.
And here's who they block for: Charlie Garner and John Ritchie, with Bryson Brown the receivers and Roland Williams the tight end. It's 2nd down and 10. The Raiders still at the 28. Again, the empty backfield for Gannon. With time and outside of the tight end, Doug Jolly, who is knocked out of bounds by Ray Thompson. It's a gain of 5, and he's up to the 33. Jolly has been a favorite receiver the last 2 weeks for Gannon. On the Cardinal defensive line, Wakefield, Davis, Tanner, and Vanden Bosch.
As a group, the worst pass rushing line, I think, in the NFL.
Thompson, McKinnon, and Woods are the linebackers, and in the secondary, what you think is a tough one today, Starks and Barrett with Lassiter and Wilson. You think the Raiders will attack that secondary this afternoon?
Absolutely. We're going to see a lot of blitzes from the linebackers, a lot of blitzes from the safeties, especially if Rich Gannon keeps giving them an empty look.
Bill Carollo is our referee. And suddenly comes over to talk with Dave McGinnis, who is the 2nd-year full-time coach with the Arizona Cardinals. And is he saying all the headsets are out?
Yeah, this is usually a situation this early. If you're watching and wondering here, it's usually that the headsets have gone out. And if that's the truth, then it has to be out on both sides. If one side doesn't have it, that means the Raiders will have to give theirs up. And then we're going just to hand signals, which is kind of like smoke signals used to be as far as communications. It's a little antiquated.
The Arizona Cardinals coaching staff's headsets are inoperable. By rule, Oakland will take theirs off until it becomes up and running.
But in practice, we should note, and yeah, I think you've kind of touched on already with the hand signals, they normally give hand signals in practice just to keep everybody on the same page anyway.
I love it. They're going to put them down around their neck. Yeah, like you couldn't turn it up so loud that you could still kind of hear it.
Garner is in the backfield. It's 3rd down and 5. The Raiders are at their own 33. Tim Brown is in motion to watch for Brown today on a crossing pattern like right here. And Gannon throws to Brown, incomplete, covered by Wilson, and the Raiders have got a punt.
And Tim Brown needs 8 receptions to get to 1,000 receptions on his career and join his teammate Jerry Rice in that 1,000 reception club. And this is what the Raiders do well, is they cross these patterns, and it's something that the Arizona Cardinals have been looking at all week. It's a puzzle I'm not sure many teams can solve.
Shane Leckler will punt. He is number 5 in the NFL, and deep back is Arnold Jackson. And Jackson will take it and scamper out of bounds near the 19-yard line, and mark him out, they'll say at the 21. 58-yard punt by Leckler, a 12-yard return, and we're scoreless in Tempe. The Arizona Cardinals last week lost in Philadelphia 38-14. Horrible Arizona tackling. The Raiders last week won their second consecutive game. Gannon just under 300 yards passing, beating the champion New England Patriots 27-20.
And Jake Plaummer and the Cardinals showed us early, giving a pretty good dose of shit. They've got to run their back a lot against this defense. Keep Gannon off the field on the other side.
That's SHIPP from the 21. A pitch out. No, a knocked away ball. The chip bobbles. It's loose and recovered by DeLawrence Grant. At the Cardinal 22, make it the 12-yard line. And the first turnover of the day, and Grant gobbles it up for the Raiders.
What you're about to see here is so dumb. Dumb people think it's dumb. I mean, Jake Plaummer is a creative quarterback. Jake Plaummer makes things happen. Jake Plaummer had a severe mental cramp. Because why you do that? I mean, there's no defense for doing. That's literally throwing the ball to the other team. That is inexcusable. And you've just set up the best offense in the NFL with the hottest quarterback in an empty backfield with a quick passing situation into the end zone.
Now they shift Ritchie and Garner in the backfield. 13-yard line. First down and 10 after the fumble. Charlie Garner. Great pick from Ritchie. A pick from Rice. And a Raider touchdown, but a flag has been thrown.
Maybe too good a block from Jerry Rice. Jerry's been one of the best blocking wide receivers for a long time in this league.
You're right, Randy. It's against the Raiders, wiping out the touchdown.
80. Offense during the run. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's just sort of part of the deal you're going to have to buy when you've got a wide receiver like Jerry, like Tim Brown, like the guys in Denver. You're going to have those holding penalties occasionally, and when a defensive back is being blocked and tries to spin out and he can't suddenly move, it's not hard for an official to figure out that somebody's grabbing him.
So they move it back to the 15-yard line. Garner stays in the game. And this possession set up with a fumble by Jake Plaummer. It is a spot foul, and so that's why it goes from the 13 back to the 15 where it's 1st and 12. And Gannon to the air and short, going underneath to Jerry Rice. A non-interception. He has now caught a pass in 252 consecutive games. That's an NFL record, and he's down to the Arizona 6.
Talk about a contrast in how's your month been. A month ago, Arizona is playing San Francisco in San Francisco for the NFC West lead. A month later, they're playing the Raiders with a 4-game losing streak, and they're going to face a Jerry Rice and a Rich Gannon offense that's going to do that all day.
Second down, 3 from the 6. Gannon with great time. Look at the time he's got to throw. And he finds Gardner at the 2. And he's belted out of bounds by Reinhardt. And that should be good for a first down with the gain of 5. 1st and goal, Raiders at the Cardinal 1.
So far, we've seen the reason that people have so much respect for Charlie Garner. With a quick run that was called back, now he starts blocking, then gets off into the backfield. The offensive line gives him all that time. Garner, an excellent runner who runs a lot bigger than his size would tell you, and one of the best receiving backs in the league out of the backfield.
Zach Crockett in the game, 1st and goal at the 1. Crockett scored twice last week. Tries to corkscrew his way in here before he is stopped by Ray Thompson. Flag is down at the 7.
Offside. Offside defense, number 55. We'll go back to the previous spot. Replay first down, half the distance.
Referee Bill Carollo with a little double clutch there, and Bill Callahan and the Raiders, it's something they normally don't see, is a penalty not called on them.
Crockett in the backfield, first down and goal, and he does not get in. Down at about the 1 with a nice defensive stop by leading tackler Ronald McKinnon. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
Hey, Ronald McKinnon is out of the Sam Mills style of linebacker. They say 6 foot, I say 5'10", but watch him meet right in the hole. You want to talk about how do you tackle in this situation? If you're Ron McKinnon, that's how you tackle. Young guys out there, watch this linebacker. He can make a guy go down quick.
2nd down and go at the 1. Crockett again stuffed. That time coming through. was Michael Young, who was off the practice squad a year ago, and that entire line could not shove the Cardinals away.
That entire line gets stuffed. The momentum is all from the red shirts. You want to see the white surge into the end zone this way? No such luck. Jerry Rice in there trying to block on the outside, but that offensive line got pushed right back about a yard.
Matt Stinchcomb comes in as a eligible receiver. They take out Porter. They leave in Crockett with Ritchie.
I'd watch out for Ritchie coming out of the backfield as a receiver here.
2nd and goal at the 2. You got it, Ritchie. But they go beyond him to Jolly. Incomplete, flags all over the field. They almost stopped the play in mid-motion.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Matt Stinchcomb, yeah. You know how the Raider game is sort of like a 4th of July? A lot of flags. Yeah. Lots of flags. Just like that parade through your neighborhood before the fireworks. You get a Raider situation, and Bill Callahan and John Gruden before him have gone nuts trying to solve that problem. They average 8 penalties a game.
But less than last year.
That's the good news.
The bad news is
they're usually double digits.
Garner's back in, 3rd and goal at the 7. 3 receivers deployed. Here comes the blitz by Wakefield, and a touchdown reception made by Jerry Porter. 7-yard strike. And the Raiders cash in on the Jake Plaummer fumble.
Nice call by Rich Gannon, and audible because of the blitz. Here's Porter at the top of the screen, and he's just going to come quick in. Watch the blitz come after Gannon. 1, 2, 3, bang, timing, ball out, ball in the air, ball in the hands of Jerry Porter.
And Janikowski's extra point puts him up, a 7-yard touchdown pass. Jerry Porter having a career year, his 7th touchdown reception of the season.
In 2 years, 20 catches, no touchdowns. Now 28 catches, 7 touchdowns.
Not bad. Jerry Porter just lassoed a Rich Gannon touchdown pass for Gannon, his 20th toss through the air to the end zone this season. And it's 7-0 Raiders on a Jake Plaummer fumble, which sets up that Raiders score. Now Janikowski with the teed up on the 30-yard line, and Kevin Kasper is back inside the 5. He'll take it at the 2. And the ex-Bronco is tripped up beautifully on the play, coming through Clarence Love. The San Francisco 49ers have played both these teams. Here's their coach, Steve Mariucci.
Well, the key to stopping the Raiders on offense is to keep them over there on the sideline, because when they get on the football field, they're pretty darn explosive. The key now with the Cardinals, Jake Plummer's still there. You got to get in his face. You got to stop him. But it's going to be one of those games that I think that Arizona's going to have to keep Jerry Rice and company on the sideline a little bit.
So far, Arizona's turned it over.
So far, so bad.
Yeah.
Jake got to start with hanging on to the ball.
17-yard line, 1st and 10. And Plummer quickly to the side, incomplete, looking for Frank Sanders, his leading receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And there probably isn't a better example in the NFL of the case where the quarterback is, when things go right, is going to get more credit than he deserves, and when things go wrong, he's going to get more blame than he deserves. You know, a lot of people here would love to see Jake Plummer leave Arizona, and you know, Dave McGinnis and this organization have a big decision to make at the end of the year, but it doesn't take long to look around this league what other quarterbacks and backups and new guys are doing to say if you get rid of him, you better be careful.
2nd down and 10. Marcel Shipp finally brought down by Eric Barton, but he wasn't stopping. The UMass running back picks up 8 yards. He's up near the 24-yard line. This kid has kind of come out of no place. Made the team as a rookie free agent last year.
And he can run the ball. I mean, here's a guy out of UMass that had a streak in college of 16 consecutive 100-yard games. I don't care who you do this against. You have 16 games in a row on the college level where you can get 100 yards. You can run it. And you can see from his size at 5'11" and 226, he can bring a lot of body down low to the ground.
3rd down and 2, shy of the 25. Tight end Freddie Jones on the move. The fake to Shipp. And here comes Romanowski and Trace Armstrong chasing the quarterback, and out of bounds it goes, incomplete. The pressure was applied, and Romanowski along with Trace Armstrong providing the coverage, and it is a 0 for 3 start for Jake Plaummer, and another punt coming up for the Cardinals.
That's pretty much a textbook way that a defensive end should play a quarterback like Jake Plaummer. You saw Trace Armstrong not bite down, be able to get up the field and pressure Jake Plaummer.
Charles Woodson back inside the 30. Scott Player, who's averaging 43 yards a punt this season, to boot it away. Second return for Woodson. And chased by Justin Lucas. Makes a couple of tackles and finally belted off his horse by Kevin Casper. Lost 2 yards on the return after the 51-yard punt by Scott Player. We got a timeout. Did you agree with 49er coach Steve Mariucci's appraisal of these two teams, Randy?
Well, you only have to look at the first quarter so far in this football game is to say, you know, how great that theory is. I mean, his team had the ball for 15 minutes when they faced the Raiders, but they never got the ball back at the end of the game.
After the Cardinal punt from the 23, 1st and 10 for Rich Gannon. And Charlie Garner, nice block by Richie. And a block by Rice, and then finally got tangled up with Adrian Wilson on the side up to the 32-yard line, picking up 9.
If you're Charlie Garner, you've got to be very, very much, besides a real talented running back, very much a team guy for the Oakland Raiders, because Charlie Garner is a running back that is going to have to face a linebacker like McKinnon, 57. He's supposed to run with him, flow to flow. McKinnon can't stay with him flow to flow. Middleton was able to get out there and block him, but Garner's got to be very unselfish, because he's going to have to run, he's going to have to catch passes, he's going to have to pass block, and he's going to have to live with the fact that he can't be a featured run the ball a whole bunch running back.
2nd down and 1 from the 32. Wheatley in the game, but the handoff goes to Garner, and he barrels over the 34 to the 35, picking up 3, and has another first down for the Oakland Raiders with an early Chiefs lead in Seattle.
This AFC West division, I think this is where the home field advantage is going to come from. Either the Raiders or the Broncos or Marty Schottenheimer and the Chargers are going to get revitalized, and they're going to get home field advantage.
Garner is in, 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for Gannon. There's a flag.
That it is.
Somebody moved.
Number 88 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Down.
Doug Jolly, and all 3 penalties on Bill Callahan's Raiders have been on the offense.
And as you can see, everybody's got their headsets back on.
Back working.
All the signals are fine except for the ones between the quarterbacks and his offensive line.
That's right.
This offensive line of Oakland is not off to a great start.
1st and 15 from the 30 with the penalty in tow. Gannon outside, second catch today by the tight end Jolly, grabbed by Justin Lucas and brought down after a gain of 4 up to the 34. Well, the San Diego Chargers got smashed today in Miami. Broncos play tonight against the Colts on Sunday Night TV. And now the Chargers go to 7-4. The Raiders just a half game back at 6-4. Kansas City at 5-5. 2nd down and 11 at the 34. Fake to Garner. Great time for Gannon. Sidearm pass caught by Charlie Garner. Has a first down as he lunges into Dwayne Starks. And a gain will take him to the 48-yard line and pick up a 14 yards.
Well, right now, Adrian Wilson, number 24, the strong safety, has got to say, what else can I do to Rich Gannon to take away Charlie Garner? He was all over Charlie Garner coverage-wise, and Gannon is a guy that can deliver the ball from more angles. He's kind of like a combination of a straight-over-the-top Juan Marichal and Kent Colby coming from underneath. I mean, he brings it from everywhere, and there was a great example.
Wheatley is in the game. Garner just caught his 60th pass of the season. This is Tyrone Wheatley. High stepping his way into the secondary and down near the 46-yard line, a gain of 6. When you came into today, Randy, what did you think were the offensive priorities for the Raiders?
A little bit of what you're seeing. I think Bill Callahan knows full well that as we head into December and January playoffs down the road, you're going to have the versatility you're seeing in this offense. You're going to have to be able to throw the ball, and goodness knows they like to do that. But you better have Garner out of the backfield with the quick runs, and you better have the power of a Wheatley at your availability.
Wheatley remains 2nd down and 4 from the 46. Now Tyrone's in motion out of the backfield. Ritchie remains to block, which he does, but there they come up the middle, and Tanner comes up and makes the stop. Almost untouched. He throws Gannon for a loss of 7 on the play. Tanner's 5 years out of Oklahoma.
Oh, how much do you have to love old Baron Tanner to get this kind of pressure? Because this team has got the lowest sack amount of anybody else in the NFL. And what's he do when he gets done? He gets himself a little quarterback and gets up and rubs that belly. And from the looks of that belly, old Baron might have about enough room for Rich Gannon in there.
Original, I want you in me belly. Original 5th round pick by the Miami Dolphins. 3rd down and 11, back to the 47. Wheatley in the backfield. Gannon got a nice block from Lincoln Kennedy, which buys him that kind of time. He's got to get to the 42, and downfield he throws incomplete for Jerry Rice. Covered on the play by Kiwami Lassiter. And the Raiders have got a punt for a 2nd time in 3 possessions.
Jerry Rice working against Starks in a zone defense, trying to fit in behind the linebackers. With this much time, Rich Gannon's got a shot to find him, but somehow Mean Joe Green, who's the defensive line coach of the Arizona Cardinals, has got to figure out a way to get some pressure on Rich Gannon.
Leckler to punt. 5'8" Arnold Jackson. They'll let it bounce him back of him, and wisely so into the end zone. 53-yard punt by the Pro Bowler Shane Leckler. And a timeout. Rich Gannon has thrown a touchdown pass to Jerry Porter after a fumble by Jake Plummer gave the Raiders gate position inside the 15-yard line. After the Raider punt, Cardinals at the 20 on the touchback, 1st and 10. Marcel Schick. Davis trying to block, and then he is thrown down on the play by Travion Smith. And a gain of about 3.5 on the play to the 24.
A little playoff on the old tale of 2 cities. Well, kind of a tale of 3 seasons for Oakland. I want to point out this number right here, 153.8. This is what Bill Callahan and his football team have to clean up and try to avoid the most of, and that's rushing yards, because it's exactly what Steve Mariucci was talking about. People will face this defense and want to just pound the ball and hold on to the ball so Gannon and company can't be on the field.
Outside the 23, 2nd down and 7. The fake to Ship. They come up the middle with Perella. The pass intercepted on the play by Barton. The 2nd turnover for the Cardinals. The 1st interception thrown by Plummer today. And his 6th interception he has thrown in the last 4 weeks.
Well, you got to say this. He hit his man right in the chest. But his man is not number 50, Eric Barton. 2 turnovers in this game so far for Arizona, and both of them are squarely in the hands of Jake Plummer. A very poor desperation pitch was a fumble, and now this pass right here, Eric Barton did nothing fancy. He dropped straight back into that zone, and Jake Plummer threw the ball right at him. That is another inexcusable turnover for the Cardinals quarterback.
Cardinals came in -3. Now they're -5 for the season, and the Raiders trying to cash in from the 33-yard line. Barton, by the way, makes his 1st interception of the season. And Gannon's got Garner in the backfield. The fake to him, and it's an end around to Tim Brown, being chased by Bangenbosch and shoved out of bounds by Lassiter at about the 30 after a gain of 3. So the Cardinals have turned it over twice, and they punted the other 2 times.
And they're watching another offense on the field right now that's doing sort of what they should be doing. Doing a little bit of everything. They're running the ball. They're throwing the short passes. They're running reverses. Rich Gannon right now has a solid grasp of his attack and plan, and he's being a patient quarterback.
Randy Jordan is in. 2nd down and 7. Jordan in motion out of the backfield from the Cardinal 30. Charlie Garner. Oh, nice block by Lincoln Kennedy. And there goes Garner. Inside the 10 to the 9. Brought down by Wendell Bryant. 21-yard gallop. It's 1st and goal Raiders. 4 carries and 41 yards for Garner.
Watch the blocking in the center of the offense for the Raiders right here. And Charlie Garner just basically draws a dead beat on our umpire and runs right straight through the hole. That's the kind of run blocking this Oakland Raider football team needs to see, and it's exactly what the Arizona Cardinals do not need to see. Mark Trestman, the coordinator for the Raiders, has to love it.
First and goal at the 8. Charlie Garner dancing around a Richie block and is in, diving for another Raider touchdown.
When we talked to Charlie Garner last night, we mentioned last time we'd seen the Raiders was up in Buffalo, where he put on kind of a personal highlight reel. He says, well, hopefully you guys will be the difference. And I don't know, maybe we are, because he's having another one of those games, catching the ball, blocking for Rich Gannon, and then just flat making for the corner. You know, when you're playing out in the backyard at the park, where you go? I'm going for the flag. I'm going to run as fast as I can to the corner. That's exactly what Garner did. Nothing fancy.
Garner has his first rushing touchdown in 3 games. And Janikowski's extra point is through. And 2 Cardinal turnovers have equaled 14 Raider points.
You might as well have Jake Plaummer just put a nice big red bow around these 14 points, because he gave both touchdowns to the Raiders.
A touchdown pass by Rich Gannon. A touchdown run seconds ago by Charlie Garner. 14-0. 2 Arizona turnovers, giving the Raiders outstanding position deep in Arizona territory.
So far, it's been kind of takeoff on a Jim Carrey movie. Dumb and Dumber. And yeah, we talked about patience and being smart being such a key for the Raiders offense, and Rich Gannon no different on the other side of the ball, especially when you're an underdog type team as the Cardinals are. You have to be smarter than the other team, and you have to be more patient than the other team's quarterback, and that has not happened so far.
Kevin Casper deep back. He's just a couple feet inside the end zone because Janikowski's got a cannon. And that's about the right place, about a yard deep, and Casper will bring it out. Slipping by one tackler after another. Finally, Zach Crockett, along with Marcus Williams, bring him down after a 23-yard return up near the 21-yard line into the sideline, and Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. You know, Jake Plummer's poor play is having a definite effect on this Cardinals defense. I watched them go from bouncing and plucky to kind of walking around with their heads down as they watch their quarterback and their offense totally ineffective. A definite effect on the defense. So Jake has got to get something going to give the entire team confidence now.
I like Beasley's kind of allusion to them being plucky. Is that kind of a play off the feather thing with the Cardinals and the Birds? And that's good.
That's why he's where he is. He's a network guy on the 21-yard line. 1st and 10. Marcel Shipp got a block on the play from Bush. Running into the secondary once again. Finally hit by Derek Gibson and brought down after a 17-yard gain up to the 37.
2 important people right now for this offense are Marcel Shipp and Frank Sanders. Marcel Shipp has to take advantage of nice blocking up front, especially in the middle of the offensive line. Get a nice block by Chris Dishman, 67, his guard, running up the field. Passing-wise, find Frank Sanders. And if they're rotating to him, find the other guy.
38-yard line, 1st and 10. Shipp again. Breaks a tackle. And in the secondary, Rod Woodson is chasing him down this time and brings him out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That is a run of 26 yards.
It's hard to decide if getting drafted or being signed, I should say, by the Arizona Cardinals is a bigger break, or Thomas Jones breaking his hand is the bigger break for this running back. Marcel Shipp is having great opportunity against one of the better football teams in the league, and the Raiders are showing a lot of people what he can do. And right now, you got to believe those numbers he put up in college were just kind of a preview of what this kid can do. Why not feed him? See if you got that kind of running back, because they haven't had a running back like this that looked like this since Garrison Hurst before he hurt his knee here in Arizona.
First quarter has come to a close. Raiders have scored through the air and on the ground. They've won 2 straight games coming into today. And the Raiders lead the first quarter here in Tempe with a 14-0 lead over Arizona. Cardinals have had 2 costly turnovers, and the Raiders have capitalized both times. 14-0 as we go to the second quarter with Randy Cross and Beasley Reese. Kevin Harlan from Tempe.
Not hard to figure out. Keep the factor back as Shipp, and not let that factor back be Jake Plaummer, because he's made the mistakes today.
From the 36, it's 1st down and 10. Marcel Shipp, and tripped up right there on the defensive line. Perella got him. 2nd down and 8 from the 34. Plummer Here comes Romanowski. Moving up is Plaummer. Fires a pass. Downfield, caught by Sanders. Stiff arms his way into James. And he's inside the 5 at the 3. A 31-yard strike. First and goal to go. The Arizona Cardinals.
This is what Jake Plaummer needs to get going. You get the running back going with Ship, and then you get your receiver going down the field, Frank Sanders. Remember we talked about we got to figure out what they're doing? Well, what they're doing here is they're manning up on Frank Sanders. Torrey James can't stay with him. Frank Sanders, nice job and a great job by the Arizona Cardinal offensive line of giving Jake Plaummer that time so Frank Sanders can move all 215 pounds on down the field for that pass.
Sanders didn't catch a pass last week in Philadelphia. First down and goal at the 3. And a timeout taken by the Cardinals. They now have 2 left, and Plaummer will go to the sideline and talk things over. In scoring position, but down by 2 touchdowns. Randy Krause, you've got your eye on Leonard Davis at right tackle.
6'6", 380 pounds. And he can create a hole on one side of the line all by himself.
It's first and goal at the 3. Marcel Ship easily slicing into the end zone for a touchdown.
That hole was right behind Pete Kendall, the left guard, and Jason Starkey starting at center for Mike Grudiduria. Look at the whole lineup right there. TJ or LJ Shelton gets a nice block, sort of grabbing Trace Armstrong and sucking him inside with him. That opened up that hole.
Marcel Ship scores his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And the kid who made it here is a rookie free agent a season ago. Bill Gramatica with the extra point. And the Cardinals have cut the Raider lead in half.
I want to show you the block I was talking about. Watch right here. The block starts. Everybody's pulled in. That was a hold. But you know what it is? It's actually 6 points.
And they needed it. In the paper leading up to the game, Jake Plaummer said he has respect for Charles Woodson at one corner, but at the other corner, he really didn't respect that much Torrey James. Moments ago, he just beat James with Frank Sanders on a 31-yard pass that sets up that touchdown. Kickoff by Gramatica. Marcus Knight at the goal line for the Oakland Raiders. And he's got a block ahead from Ritchie. And finally stopped from behind by LeVar Fisher. That is a 46-yard return. And he takes the ball to about the 46-yard line. It'll be first and 10. That was some nice locker room fodder that Plaummer provided the Raiders. But sure enough, he proved him wrong right there.
Well, I think the best locker room fodder the Cardinals provided the Raiders was beating them last year in overtime with that field goal.
Right.
I mean, normally you come into a game like this, you'd be real worried about your offense not being focused, your offense not being patient, your defense not paying attention. That game last year, I think, kept everybody in silver and black's attention.
26-yard line, first and 10. Good block by Sims. Time for Gannon again to Jolly. That's the young tight end out of BYU, a second-round pick. His 3rd reception of the day, 16-yard pickup to the Cardinal 38 in a first down.
And really what has been good for Jolly is Williams, the normal tight end they got from St. Louis, has been out with a little injury. So Jolly's been able to play more. And he's been able to show people that I'm not a tight end that catches it and falls down. What you're always looking for in this league is a tight end that can catch it and run with it.
It is a first down at the Cardinal 38. And Charlie Garner tries to pick and poke his way, and Woods with the stop after a gain of 2. That puts the ball at the 36-yard line. Second down and 8 from the 36. Here they come. The blitz was on from the secondary, and Adrian Wilson, who is breathing down the back of quarterback Rich Gannon. It'll be 3rd and 8 on the incomplete pass.
Man, that was plenty of time, though, for a Raider offense to really get off a play. That was a nice job by Dave McGinnis's defense of attacking, bringing Wilson late the way he did. But generally speaking, if you're going to give Rich Gannon anything over about 2.5 seconds, you're going to be giving up a big play. And, you know, since Tim Brown dropped that first pass, we haven't seen anything going to number 81.
3rd down and 8, 36-yard line. Wheatley in the backfield. Brown on the top of your screen. What's Gannon got up his sleeve? Looking for Brown. And the ball deflected, incomplete. Rice and Brown were in the vicinity. I don't know if the ball, because it was deflected, was going to Rice, or because it was going long, it was going to Brown.
No, it was Kwame Lassiter got in the way. The ball was going to go to Jerry Rice. You see Jerry Porter in the front. He's trying to do a little pick action. Jerry Rice coming up right behind Tim Brown, but Kwame Lassiter, 42, the free safety, gets in there and ruins it. There's Lassiter right there batting that ball, and it's kind of play the Arizona Cardinals need. What they need is to catch that pass, not knock it down. They need an interception and turnover quick.
Out of field goal range, we think, for Janikowski. Thus, they're going to punt it. Here's Leckler trying to place it inside the 10. And off the fingertips and out of bounds of Dorsett. That's Anthony Dorsett, a fine special teams performer, out of bounds at the 4 on a 32-yard well-placed punt. With Randy Cross and Beasley Reese, Kevin Harlan, Arizona with a 7-point deficit right now. Raiders got 2 early Arizona turnovers, and thus they got their 14 points.
This is the worst Cardinal field position. And last drive, Jake Plaummer, 8 runs, 2 passes.
Raider defense digs in from the 4-yard line. Marcel Shipp on first down and 10. Climbs over a couple defenders. Second down, long 3. Outside the 9. Play action by Plummer. Here comes Armstrong. The pass is outside to Joel Makovicka, who is brought down by Travian Smith. He's got the first down. There was a club on the hit. It could be a penalty flag on the Raiders. It's an 11-yard gain. He's up near the 20-yard line.
Hey, Matt, remember patience? There's another word that goes along with that, with also starts in P, and poise. The Raiders love the word poise in a lot of their PR and their sales stuff, but you got to have poise in these situations and not get those kind of chops, not get those kind of penalties, and not let a team out of a deep hole like this.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 56. 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot, first down.
He's taken the place of the injured Napoleon Harris, who had a groin pull last week against the Patriots.
And since the 2 turnovers, this game is really sort of not degenerate, but it's turned to what we thought it was, a line of scrimmage physical game, and that was just a straight chop. So it looked like it caught a little bit of the head there and right in front of the official. I mean, if you're not chopping at the ball and at a guy's arms, that's going to be a penalty flag every single time.
So with the penalty, push it up to the 35, where it's first down and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. Shipp hands off to Sanders. I think they may have been thinking double reverse. And down he goes, smothered at about the 26-yard line. Were they thinking double reverse?
Well, they weren't the only one. So was the Raiders defense. Wow.
Let's send our reverse now to Jim Nance in New York.
All right, thank you, Kevin. It didn't take long after the Alexander touchdown. They faked the end around to Johnny Morton, and Green dumps it to Holmes, and he's gone. 64 yards, his second touchdown of the day. 19 on the season. That ties the Chiefs' franchise record. 17-7 Kansas City. Let's go back to Kevin and Randy.
Thank you, Jim. Priest Holmes has the most touchdowns through the air and on the ground combined of any player in the NFL.
A couple offenses in that AFC West reminded the old AFL days in the West Coast.
Yes, sir. Second down, 18 inside the 27. Plummer with time into the side and almost picked off by James. That's the guy who Plummer was kind of shooting at in the press this week. James was beaten once, and he almost beat Plummer right there.
But in that time, he was working against McAdley. He wasn't working against Sanders. That time, he was lined up at corner on the outside for Chuck Bresnahan, the coordinator of the Raiders. He wasn't lined up in the slot. So you've got to keep the motion going. You got to keep you see, you flip your thumbs up like that. You're saying, give me the yeah, I like that. But you got to keep your guys in the slot, get the matchups you want. That's when you go for the big play.
Arizona 3rd and 18. You can see 0-2 on third downs today. 27-yard line for Plummer in the gun. Good block by Davis. Down the middle it goes to Shipp. He's surrounded by white jerseys. Hit by Romanowski. Knocked by Charles Woodson. Travian Smith got in there. A 13-yard gain, but a good 5 yards shy of the first, and the Cardinals have got to punt again.
There's nothing wrong with what the Cardinals just did, and Jake Plummer and this offense know it. They're going to the sideline. They've gotten first downs. They set up their team where they can pin the Raiders back, and they made the best out of a bad situation being backed up like that. A real positive possession for the Cardinals after a scoring possession.
Tim Brown back to retrieve the punt. He's inside the Raider 20. Scott Player out of Florida State. Took him many times to find a team that would take a chance on him. About half the league tried him out. Finally, he lands here with the Cardinals. High hanging punt. And it will be fair caught by Brown back at the 16-yard line. And player lets go a 44-yard boot here at Sun Devil Stadium. We've got a timeout. Cardinal defense held the Raiders last time to a punt. Do they have another one of those in them?
Well, it's really up to the Raiders' offense. You know, the Raiders' offense has made some decisions, and through the blitz of the Cardinals has helped somewhat. But I think Rich Gannon and this offense is just a little bit sputtering right now after that last possession.
16-yard line after the punt. First down and 10. Brown is on the move, and Gannon right to work. And down the middle, caught by Jerry Porter. He's got a touchdown reception in his pocket today. And finally, Adrian Wilson shoves him out of bounds near the 42 on a 26-yard catch and run.
A nice job by the offensive line of the Oakland Raiders setting up Rich Gannon so that he can throw the ball to the guy that Charlie Garner referred to as a young lion. His mane's just coming out. Jerry Porter, young receiver in his third year, gets to work with Jerry Rice and Tim Brown and have these guys rubbed off on this kid.
What great teachers.
Oh, man.
First and 10, 42-yard line. Porter's got 39 catches this year and 2 today. End around to Jerry Porter again. One-on-one with McKinnon, and then drilled by David Barrett with a gain of a yard up to about the 43-yard line.
There's Mark Trestman, the offensive coordinator you don't hear much about for the Oakland Raiders. He and Bill Callahan have the same sort of duo thing going that John Gruden and Bill Callahan had before Gruden left for Tampa. The credit of this offense should go to those two coaches.
Second down, long 9 inside the 43. Might be switching the play. Here comes Woods, and there goes the pass. Caught by tight end Roland Williams, tumbling to the 38-yard line. He gets a Raider first down, as Williams shows you. 19-yard pickup. And the Raiders move the chains once again.
This is all about the offensive line. You know, Lincoln Kennedy, Barrett Robbins in the center. I mean, this line doing an excellent job. We talked about how Arizona is not one of the better teams rushing the quarterback. In fact, they have less sacks than anybody else in the league. But this offensive line, especially the big guy, 72 at right tackle, is doing an excellent job.
38 of the Cardinals, gaining 9 of 14 with the touchdown pass to Porter. First down and 10. Gannon, right on the money, caught by Jerry Rice. Second reception today, quick slant, and he's inside the Cardinal 30 to the 27-yard line, and a first down and a pickup of 11.
That's funny. I'm sorry. First.
You played with them for 5 years.
It says prolific resume. Yeah, why not straight to Canton? The heck with the 5-year waiting period. Jerry Rice ought to go straight out of the Raiders locker room to Canton for his induction.
Number 1 all-time in all-purpose yards from scrimmage. He's done it all. 40 years old. He turned 40 a couple weeks ago. It's first and 10 from the 27. And Tyrone Wheatley breaking a couple tackles. It usually takes more than one to bring him down. He's hit by Thompson. He's close to a first down run. A gain of about 9 on the play, and he's near the 17.
And Kevin, we talked in the last commercial that we thought this was the most important possession for the Arizona Cardinals. Stop them here. Find a way. Well, what you're finding out is kind of the heart of this Oakland Raider football team and the heart of this Oakland Raider offense. Richie getting a nice block. Lincoln Kennedy at right tackle getting a nice block. Tim Brown at wide receiver getting a nice block. And Wheatley really giving you the power part of the Raider offensive running game.
What did you think was the biggest mismatch today between Raiders offense and the Cardinal defense? Maybe starting with Rich Gannon himself.
Yeah, you know, I just think the experience and the decision making would be the biggest advantage that Bill Callahan has almost on a week-to-week basis. It's what made the difference last week against the New England Patriots, and it's what made the difference in Denver against Denver, the way the Raiders lit the Broncos up.
And we've seen some great runs. The pass protection is almost as good, or maybe as good, as the run blocking for this offensive line.
It's because Dave McGinnis has got to bring blitzes. He's got to bring linebackers. He's got to bring that safety down into the box and bring him when it shows pass. It's not an enviable position to be in, because this Cardinal football team has got the personality of their coach, Dave McGinnis. He's an enthusiastic guy. He's an excellent football coach. But the talent level, if it was a gas tank, it'd be down there right below empty, or above empty.
That's not good. Second down inches. Wheatley in the backfield outside the 17. It's Wheatley. Diving for a first down into the grasp of Ronald McKinnon. Picks up 3 to the 15. They'll move the chains again with the first down.
Hey, I talked about how important the possession was. This has really got to be a field goal for the Cardinals. You can go off the field after this possession and say we held them to a field goal, despite how far they're going to have to go here. You don't want to give up a touchdown here if you're a Cardinal defender, just from a psychological standpoint, because then you start thinking back and believing some of the hype about how good this offense is. It is that good, but you don't want to start believing it.
Garner back in, 7th play of the drive, 1st and 10 inside the 15. Rice is on the move. So is Gannon. To the end zone, and caught for a touchdown for the 2nd time today, Jerry Porter.
Anybody want to tell me how valuable a quarterback that can move is? Watch this. Rich Gannon comes out, throws it from somewhere just above his elbow on a rope to Jerry Porter for his 2nd touchdown of the day, 8th touchdown of the year.
Janikowski's extra point. 21-7, the Oakland Raiders.
And you can trace the lineage of what's going on in this football game right back to number 12, Rich Gannon. He's putting on a clinic.
The beat starts. A lot of times, Randy, you can gauge the success of a quarterback and the chemistry he has with his coach, in this case, Gannon with Trestman.
Trestman and Bill Callahan. We talked about that marriage together, how they've put this offense together, revamped it. You know, Mark Trestman is the one that's responsible for all this high-tech passing. Bill Callahan more the meat and potatoes side of the offense, I think. But Trestman's really brought to the table this wide-open, empty backfield where, you know, honestly, guys like Mouse Davis and June Jones have to laugh themselves silly watching offenses like the Raiders now, because 5 years ago they were fools for running the run and shoot, or 6-7 years ago. But now everybody's running these wide-open offenses.
They're a ball to watch. Janikowski's ensuing kickoff, and Kevin Casper about 3 yards deep, and he'll leave it in the end zone. Rich Gannon came in today number 1 in attempts, completions, and yards in the NFL, and over 3,000 yards passing, faster than any quarterback in NFL history through 10 games.
We told you about that earlier, about the yardage, and it's your Dan Marino in the pregame show today. Jim Nantz kind of drilled him a little bit about how about Rich Gannon breaking your record. And Dan can look a little hurt. Then he says, well, you know, Jim, he's throwing the ball every down. He doesn't have a running game. I'm sitting in my hotel room, sitting here in Arizona going, no, wait a minute. You didn't have a running game either. Why do you think you threw for all those yards?
Gannon coming off a 4 of 4 series on that touchdown pass, ending up to Jerry Porter. Touchback to the 21st and 10 for the Cardinals. Marcel Shipp is a block by Bush. And a tackle coming from the secondary, and Derek Gibson after a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. And Beasley, Reese, what do you have?
Well, you know, I watched practice on Friday, and watching Jake Plaummer throw the ball, he was laughing, bouncing around. He was throwing a lot of zip. In this game, all but a couple of passes, he's trying to throw darts. He's trying to be more careful. When things are going bad, sometimes you just try to be too perfect. He needs to let it go. They're doing a little bit better, but he's got to let these passes go.
Well, you can't be good by trying to be perfect. I know it doesn't make sense out there, but
23-yard line, 2nd down, 7. Shipp got away from Sam Adams, then is trilled by Travion Smith after a gain of a yard. How do you like these Raider linebackers, in particular Eric Barton, who's out there with Smith?
I think he has been really the highlight linebacker-wise for this team this year. Everybody wants to talk about Bill Romanowski, and Barton's the first guy to credit Romo by saying, hey, you know, he's done a lot for me. He's shown me how to be a linebacker off the field, how to take care of my body. But this guy has made so many huge plays. He's the speed factor. He's the factor linebacker for the Oakland Raiders.
The anti-Kirkland. 3rd down and 7, 23. And here comes Plaummer across the middle. It's caught by Arnold Jackson, who is snuffed and put down by Terrence Shaw after a gain of 4 up to the 27, 3 yards shy of a 1st down, and Jake Plaummer and his offense have got to give the ball back.
And there's a good example that, you know, the Oakland Raiders, a football team that for years was known as the man-to-man sort of kings of this league. Chuck Bresnahan had a little zone working, was giving them the soft stuff underneath that would be short of the first down. Good execution by the Raiders defense.
Scott Player to punt. Charles Woodson is back. Flags all over the field. And Woodson from the 22. And being chased and brought down. The long snapper.
I told you. I mean, every time we do a Raider game, it's like the 4th of July parade at my country club.
They're all up at one time.
Flags everywhere.
The long snapper, Hodel, makes the stop.
12 men on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And what did he say?
Well, that's a big one there, getting that first down against you. Another example of Callahan's Raiders making a mental error. But Callahan, you know, he talked about how he's gotten practice time and walkthrough time. He's increased it, but he's backing off on practice time on the field because you really have to. That's the only way to stop your older players from working hard. The work ethic of this team and the pace of this team is set by Gannon and Brown and Jerry Rice. And they work harder than probably any 3 guys in the NFL you could come together with no matter what their age is.
And they'll stay alive. There's a pass to McGadley. And the rookie out of Alabama who played not only football but also was a very important ingredient on the track team at the University of Alabama. Comes up with a gain of about 9, close to a first down at the Cardinal 41.
You see that pad on his right bicep.
Yes.
And it's sort of a sleeve on the backside, but on the front it looks like a hard pad, almost like a soccer shin guard to protect that bicep muscle.
Second down 1, 41-yard line. Marcel Shipp, huge hole, and it's a foot race with Woodson. And Shipp with another big gain. He is closing in on 100 yards. He picks up 39 yards right there, and for the day, 122. And there have not been many 100-yard rushers for the Cardinals over the last couple of years.
Quickest point between 2 ways. If you're a running back, follow your center. He'll show you where the line is. Backside, Dishman. Onside, Sharkey. And see you later, bye. From Marcel Shipp.
How big was that special teams penalty now on the Raiders?
Exactly, and this is something that plagues this football team is the key critical mistake.
Damian Anderson in the backfield now taking the place of the winded Marcel Shipp. First and 10. Dropped by Freddie Jones. Incomplete. They immediately wave it away and completed about the 16-yard line. So second down and 10. So a very costly special teams penalty. A wonderful run by Shipp, who's got 122 on the ground today. And already, the Cardinals at the 20-yard line of Oakland. That is something.
Remember that graphic we showed you earlier about the tale of 3 seasons? The rushing yards, that when they lost those 4 games in a row, they were giving up 153.8 yards a game. We're getting close to that in this half, and they're ahead by 2 touchdowns.
Anderson remains in the game. Second down and 10 at the 20. Damian Anderson, his 24th carry of the year. Drilled by Rod Coleman, who's in there, along with Derek Gibson. How would you characterize a Dave McGinnis team? Are they tough? Are they a finesse team, talented? How do you look at it?
Well, I think the Cardinal team that he thought he was coming into the season with would be very, very talented and very tough. Now they're tough, but not talented.
Up the Nextel halftime report. Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer have scores and highlights. Nextel halftime from New York is next. The Cardinals on the move. A special teams penalty when the Cardinals were punting kept the Cardinal offense on the field, and they respond with a long run by Shipp to put him in deep Oakland territory.
This is about Jake Plummer's decision making.
Inside the 17, third down and 6 for Plummer. Fires a pass and it's caught. Arnold Jackson slides in between Woodson along with Gibson. On 3rd and 6, they pick up 10, and they are at the Raiders 6, first and goal.
This play is a good example of the tease that is the talent of Jake Plummer. For the bad decisions he made early, you've seen him making some wonderful, well-timed decisions. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. I mean, he hits that back step, and the ball is out to his receiver. Excellent technique, excellent progression, and a very nice decision.
Cardinals started at their own 20 with 5:31 left. 9th play of the drive coming up. First and goal at the 6. Marcel Shipp is back in the game. And Plummer with time. Look out, here comes Romanowski in the pass. Well, he got a hand on it. The leaping Frank Sanders was draped with Raider defenders. Back there primarily Terrence Shaw. It'll be 2nd down and goal. What does Plummer do well in situations like this?
Well, I think it's back to the decision-making process. And, you know, Terrence Shaw got away with a heck of a hold and a grab right there on Frank Sanders because, you know, no mystery who Jake Plummer wants to go to. He wants to go to Sanders. Only 1 catch right now still from Sanders. That 1 big play.
Plummer 6 of 13. He's thrown an interception. 2nd down and goal at the 6. Ship in the backfield. The fake to Ship, buying Plummer time, and throws out of the end zone.
Oh, that was a big mistake. Flag on the field. I want to tell you, Freddie Jones, Jake Plummer's tight end, was wide open all by himself. Illegal receiver downfield. Oh, my goodness. Did he have a tight end for a touchdown with just a gimme?
Ineligible. Illegally downfield. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
I want you to concentrate on this part of the football field right there. Don't take your eyes off that part of the football field. As this runs, Jake starts to run. Tight end wide open. I mean, nobody even near him.
3rd down and goal at the 6. Ship in the backfield, and Plummer to the air. And caught by his tight end Bush, who tried to lunge. The ball was batted free at the 1, and they pulled him dead about the 1.5. Where now it'll be 4th down and goal, and the Raiders are going to take a timeout with about 1:11 to play.
Well, you know, it's protection, and it's about decisions. Everywhere he wanted to go with that pass was not available. The last place he wanted to go with it was to Steve Bush, and Steve Bush treated that ball like a big physical tight end will, and obviously the knees are down, and that play is dead before Woodson knocks that ball out. The Raiders have big Sam Adams right there over Dishman. The most physical side of their defense is right there.
4th down and goal inside the 2. The fake to Ship, and the pass. Makovica, he should be in for the touchdown, and is. Joel Makovica, who caught a touchdown pass last week in Philadelphia, catches his 2nd in as many weeks. And the Cardinals are back in business.
Nice play call by the Cardinals. Thinking the Raiders are thinking about what I was thinking. Going to pound the ball over the right side. Going to have your fullback Makovica out of Nebraska just go screaming in there to block. Makovica goes screaming in there, but not to block. Coming off the end. First back out of the backfield. Nice job, and nice job of play calling.
And how big was that penalty on special teams against the Raiders with Grammatica's extra point? Because that penalty on the Raiders special teams gave the Cardinals new life. And sure enough, they capitalized on that.
And it was a mental error as far as penalties go, because it was 12 men on the field. Kept that whole thing alive.
Grammatica will kick off, and deep back Marcus Knight inside the 5. And he is at the 4. Knight. Brought down by the backup fullback McKinley. A 26-yard return. A flag is on the field. You have called this perhaps a sandwich game for the Raiders. What do you mean by that?
Well, like Bill Callahan said, a setup game. You've got a big game last week and a big game the next week. And
holding 39 during the return. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
You got a team like last week that you got New England. So that's a big game. You got next week, you got the New York Jets, and sandwiched in between is an Arizona Cardinal team that may not get your full, dedicated, undivided attention. And as of right now, at times, they've been quite dedicated and very, very attentive. But they've had the mental lapses on special teams and defense that have made the difference so far in keeping Arizona in this football game.
Raiders have had some success. You just saw on the bottom of your screen the final 2 minutes of the half. Let's see what Rich Gannon's got. First down and 10 from the 16.
103 is plenty of time for Rich Gannon.
He's got one timeout. And across the middle, caught by Tim Brown. And Brown gets 9 on the play. And for Brown, first catch of the afternoon.
And Thursday's Thanksgiving. People love turkeys on Thanksgiving. Rich Gannon can carve up a defense like a turkey in a 2-minute drill like this.
Very good. 2nd down and 1. Second consecutive pass caught by Tim Brown. He's got the first down, and he's up to the 31-yard line of the Raiders.
And right now, Rich Gannon is calling a couple plays with his team, and he's playing quarterback. Kind of like, you want white meat or dark meat? You want a leg or a wing?
Off the gizzard.
Because, right now he's not going for the whole thing. It's not like he's carving off a big piece. Mark Trestman, his offensive coordinator, has got him out there just taking chunks right now, trying to get the Cardinal defense up to set up a big play.
He's got some good trimmings, too. 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Gannon. This time he goes long, and it ricochets off the fingertips of Jerry Rice. That's incomplete. It was inside the 40-yard line in Arizona territory. 2nd down and 10. Trestman was here in Arizona for a while.
Yeah, he was. And here's an offensive coach that, was treated very poorly in San Francisco, was fired there as a coordinator, and didn't have a success here in Arizona. But, I think a lot of that was the talent he was dealing with, and has got a chance to really be innovative with the Oakland Raiders, be a big difference to Bill Callahan, his head coach, and especially to his quarterback, Rich Gannon.
Well, you're watching one of the best 2-minute offenses in the NFL. 2nd down and 10, 31-yard line. Dump it off, screen pass, caught by Garner, a block ahead by Barrett Robbins, and you can see the block as well by Frank Middleton. Picks up, we think, enough yardage for a 1st down. Let's see where they spot him. He's at the 41-yard line. And the Raiders take up their last timeout. On the 41, it's a 1st down, and here comes Gannon. Great time in the pocket, slings it to the side, caught by Jerry Porter midfield. A yard shy of a 1st down, picks up 9, the clock down to 19 seconds, and again the Raiders operating with no timeouts. You're right, he is. He's just carving them up.
The carcass is losing meat in about 10, 15-yard chunks. It's a great example of Bill Callahan's offense. I just mentioned it. This is a clinic that Rich Gannon is putting on. There's a reason this game is 21-14. It's because Dave McGinnis' offenses took advantage of the defense of the Raiders and the special teams, but Gannon has been sharp.
2nd down, 1 from midfield. Gannon again with time, down the middle. He's got Jerry Rice on a dive at the 23.
They got to get on the ball.
Clock continues to tick. Raiders can only stop it with a spike. They're going to bring out their field goal unit.
They're not going to do it. Too many guys on the field.
Oh, boy. Flags all over the field. The Raiders have got to be furious.
Half's over.
2 seconds left on the clock.
Well, they had about 17 guys on the football field. They couldn't decide if they were running their field goal team on or keeping their offense on the field. And Bill Callahan is absolutely furious by that lack of coordination on his own sideline.
Could they have asked for a measurement to stop the clock and had that perhaps as a... I mean, it's hard to say what to do because the time is running out. You're out of timeouts, and the Raiders are trying to frantically get out there, but you can see the confusion.
Well, it's a play at the end of the half.
Both starts on the offense. The offense never got set. It's a 5-yard penalty. It also includes a 10-second run.
Yeah, half's over.
We're at halftime.
That means the half has ended.
And the Raiders give up a pretty good opportunity as they were moving downfield, but much of the chagrin of Rich Gannon, they stroll off with just a touchdown lead. And let's go downstairs to Beasley Reese.
All right, thanks. I'm with Coach Callahan. Coach, basically a great first half. Your quarterback has been awesome. What do you tell the guys in the locker room?
Well, they're coming back pretty well. Jake the Snake is liable to coming back in a clutch situation, so we got to continue to play better defense, and obviously when we get a chance to score, we got to capitalize like we have been.
Thank you, Coach.
The Raiders have won 2 straight games and take on the New York Jets next week with the game that maybe their concentration wavers a little bit coming to Arizona, and we have got a tight game. 21-14 at halftime.
Did you see the look on Callahan's face?
I think he's still trying to digest what happened to his team.
Would you love to hear exactly what was on his mind at that moment? I don't know if we could without a few beeps.
2 Rich Gannon touchdown passes, Gardner a touchdown run, 21-14 the Oakland Raiders.
And the difference in this ball game, Kevin, has been the 2 turnovers and the play call selection of the Arizona Cardinals. The turnovers have cost them, but the play selection has really made the difference since then.
Cardinals had 2 turnovers, both in their own territory. Raiders capitalized both times, 21-14 the Raiders with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. Some thoughts in the first half?
Well, since Dumb and Dumber and those 2 turnovers, it's been the Cardinals taking advantage of Raider mistakes and Rich Gannon putting on a clinic.
Moments ago, Beasley Reese caught up with the Arizona Cardinal head coach, Dave McGinnis.
Coach McGinnis, just kind of take us through what you told the guys at the half.
Well, basically, they've gotten 14 points off of turnovers, and I think our football team is playing with a hell of a lot of energy, and we've got what we want going. We've got to be able to control the ball a little bit more offensively, and defensively, we've got to find a way to put a little pressure on him and squeeze the middle of the field a little better. I'm pleased with what we're playing energy-wise. We've given them 2 touchdowns off turnovers. We've got to flip that in the second half, Beasley.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Beasley, thank you. Yeah, I'm still going back to the end of the first half. Why didn't the Raiders ask for a measurement? And when Porter caught that pass near midfield, they could have slowed things down at that time. But
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, I guess I'm still going back.
They probably
can do that. You can't ask for a measurement.
And they probably should have kept their on-field personnel down below 15 or so.
When Porter had that near midfield, I'm still surprised they didn't do that. And they kept rolling and throwing the passes, and finally to Rice, and it was too late. Here we go, kicking off the second half. Marcus Knight for the Raiders. And Kwame Lassiter brings him down about the 37-yard line on a 30-yard return. San Diego got whipped today down in Miami, so they're 7-4. Raiders a half game back. Denver plays tonight against the Colts. The Chiefs are in Seattle right now.
Yeah, I said it earlier, but I really firmly believe that the home field advantage will come out of the AFC West and the AFC. The East is going to keep beating up on each other. The North and the South won't have the records, I think, to compete with who comes out of the West. You look at Oakland and you look at Denver, I think those are the 2 teams right now going neck to neck for that home field advantage coming out of the West.
That is a heck of a division, though, isn't it? My goodness. All good teams.
Offense and more offense.
Wow. 38-yard line, 1st and 10, empty backfield. He'll empty it with Garner going in motion.
It's not empty now.
Vanden Bosch.
Vanden Bosch is in it.
Filling in the void.
Offside, 90 feet to the quarterback, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So when Gannon says go, though, you know, Kyle, he's not talking to you. And he wants to get you off like that. He's going to be a quarterback that has got the inflection and he's got the emphasis on his voice in the right spots where he can draw defensive linemen off. And Vanden Bosch in his defense has got to find a way to get that pressure that Dave McGinnis was just talking to Beasley-Reese about.
Cardinals, the least penalized team in the NFL. Up to the 44, it's a 1st and 10 handoff, 1st and 5 handoff, and it goes to Charlie Gardner, who puts his head down and digs his way into Adrian Wilson. It's a gain of 7 yards up to the 50-yard line.
But he also
first down.
Digs just about into Cardinals territory.
Yep.
And as bad as when it was 14-7, as bad as that, and important as that drive was for the Cardinals, this drive for Charlie Gardner and the Raiders is just as important. The focus, the clinic we saw earlier, the clinic at halftime until the mental mistake, you've got to get that back against this defense. Don't let them think they've got a chance of stopping it.
50-yard line, 1st and 10, Gannon going outside. Jerry Rice brought down by David Barrett, spinning at the 41, picking up 9 yards on the play. 4 catches and 57 yards for Jerry Rice. The Raiders lost 4 straight games. Now they've won their last 2. How would you characterize what they've done the last 2 weeks?
The one word, you know, we've talked about patience and we've talked a lot of different things. The one word you'd have to really go with is efficient. And if you add a couple other words, I think you go with focused. And the more important word might be physical. They're turning into a more physical football team for Trestman's offense.
Take charge personality.
Well, take charge to be Rich Gannon.
Yes. 2nd down, 1 from the 41. Outside quickly caught by Tim Brown. He's chased on the play by Thompson. And brought down after he does pick up a 1st down. A flag has been thrown on the play. They mark the ball at the 38.
Illegal shift, offense, going from an illegal position to a legal position, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And that was by the receiver on the near side of Bill Callahan's offense. Lined up, you had 2 receivers basically on the line of scrimmage, so you didn't have a legal receiver, and then they both tried to move back at the same time.
8 penalties on the Raiders already. 2nd down and 6 at the Cardinal 46. Runner in the backfield. Over the head of Charlie Gardner. Incomplete. Vanden Bosch was in the vicinity. 3rd and 6.
A little like quick pressure. You know, Beasley Reese heard from Dave McGinnis about quick pressure and turnovers and flipping the score. I'll tell you one thing, if Dave McGinnis can get those 2 touchdowns from turnovers that he gave up in the first half, his football team's got a great chance of getting another upset against a favored Oakland Raider team, much like they did last year in Oakland.
Little no huddle here by the Raiders. 3rd down and 6. Gannon with time finds Rice. He's got the first down, digging his way to the 38. Brought down on the play by Ray Thompson. And it is a gain of 7-8 yards and a first down.
Watch Jerry Rice running, and what he's looking for is a window. First window, no ball. Second window, ball. And the window is behind the defenders. There's slots where the linebackers were. He ran through the first window and looked, no ball. Kept kind of going, looked at the next window, and bang, there's the ball. And that's how Jerry Rice gets a defense to suck up and think short pass. And then Jerry Porter now has become the guy down the field that can hurt a defense deep.
Reedley in the backfield, 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 38. Here comes the rush. They send Wilson after Gannon. And hit by Tanner, and out of bounds he goes, incomplete. Lassiter was downfield and covering Jerry Porter, who's caught 2 touchdown passes today from Rich Gannon.
Yeah, you know one thing of late that has kind of, it's kind of torqued me off a little bit. It's listening to people talk about, you got to have a pocket quarterback. Mark Trestman, you need a pocket quarterback because those are the guys that win the championships, those factor quarterbacks. A mobile quarterback has never won a world championship. Well, has anybody heard of 2 guys named Montana and Young? I mean, just get a clue about this. Mobile is better than statue and will always be better than statue.
2nd and 10, 38 of Arizona. Charlie Garner zigzagging his way. There he pops free. And it looked like he was going to be brought down. He squirts ahead. LeVar Woods gets him. 8-yard gain. It looked like it might be an 8-inch gain.
And there's a good example of what you get in the Charlie Garner package. Because you look at a guy that's not real big. You're saying, Charlie's what, 5'10", about 185 pounds or so, not real huge. He gave you the little guy quick, and now right here he gives you a little bit of the medium to big guy power, bopping things up like that. He's got a lot more power and a lot more oomph behind him than people think.
And a great leader, very emotional player. 3rd down 2, Raiders have passed every 3rd down today from the Cardinal 30. Crockett in the backfield, offering a block. Gannon throws as he is hit, incomplete. Boy, the great pressure applied by Fred Wakefield, who got Gannon low. And now the question is, are they in field goal range? The longest this year by Janikowski, 47 yards, and looks like Gannon's going to call a play at the line.
He's not going to leave the field. He was going off the field like he was getting ready to give away to Janikowski. Why leave the field, though, when you can get a quick pass to one of your wide receivers or try to get an offsides?
Warner Gardner, 4th and 2. Gannon with time. Big catch made downfield by Tim Brown, who picks up 12. Raiders convert 4th and 2, and they are at the Cardinal 18.
Tim Brown coming out of the slot. What a nice example of what a receiver is supposed to do on a 4th down play like this. Watch Tim Brown just kind of throttle down. Here he comes. Throttle down, sit. It's a veteran move. Young receivers don't do that. They learn that from old receivers like Tim Brown.
9th play of the drive coming up. 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Garner, a Richie block. He slashes inside and dives to the 12. You were talking before about the Raiders being efficient, kind of a studious team in a lot of ways because of all their age and all their experience. Does this team reflect their quarterback as much as any single team in the NFL?
Yeah, I think also their coach. I think, for all the John Gruden, Chucky dolls and screwy faces and all that stuff, might have been a little distraction for this team. I think they're more of a calm, focused team, much like Bill Callahan.
2nd and 5 inside the 13. After converting the 4th and 2 moments ago, Raiders continue to plow into Cardinal territory outside Charlie Garner. And head first into the 2-yard line. He picks up a first down, 1st and goal for the Raiders. David Barrett with the tackle. It's a gain of 11 on 2nd down and 5. Now it's 1st and goal.
I know one thing. David Barrett was coming in from his corner position, kind of like I'm coming after a smaller back. Watch from the left, the blur is Barrett. But the bigger blur and harder blur right there is Charlie Garner. The shoulders down, blasting through, going for those extra yards.
Wheatley in the backfield. Ritchie ahead of him. First and goal at the 2. And Tyrone Wheatley walks into the end zone for a touchdown.
Barry Sims, Matt Stinchcomb, and Doug Jolly just pancake that side to open up those blocks and watch block here, block here, block here. That whole left side of the Raiders offensive line. Bang by Barrett, down. Wow, that's physical. And that's not physical by the Cardinals. Everybody's looking around, walking around, waiting for somebody else to make the tackle.
Janikowski's extra point. And another 14-point lead. Raiders led earlier 14-0 as Tyrone Wheatley goes in to the end zone for the first time this year. His first touchdown. And it's 28-14, the Oakland Raiders. I think you just used the word efficient in the last series.
That's the 7th score on the opening kick of a second half for the Oakland Raiders. 4 touchdowns now and 3 field goals, and capped off by Tyrone Wheatley in his 2-yard run.
Former 1,000-yard gainer 2 years ago, and the ensuing kickoff by Sebastian Janikowski. Kevin Casper at the goal line. They'll dance in and out of the shadow. And brought down on the play by the newest Oakland Raider, a kid named Tim Johnson, linebacker signed off the practice squad. We've got a timeout. Raiders today have had 4 possessions in the red zone, 4 touchdowns, 28-14 over Arizona.
That guy in the middle, right there. Yeah, that's stay upwind is all I got to tell you. That looks pretty bad.
From the 22, first and 10. Marcel Shipp in the backfield, over 100 yards today on the ground. And dancing his way into the grasp of Rod Woodson and Eric Barton. Travian Smith, gain of 3 up to the 25. Second down and 7.
And this is exactly what Jake Plaummer and his offense have to do. Because it doesn't take a real rocket scientist to sit here and watch this game, see what Rich Gannon and this offense is doing for the Oakland Raiders, to know that Shipp running the ball for the 125 yards on 13 carries. You got to keep that thing going. Keep that ship floating.
Second down and 7. I like that. On the 25. Shipp, Bush with the block, out of the reach of DeLawrence Grant, then thrust down by Barton. And a gain of 3. That'll bring up third down and about 4. He's brought down and at the 27. As we send you to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, thanks, Kev. I tell you, the Seahawks are on fire. Third time today, Hasselbeck throws a touchdown. It's Corin Robinson. Get this, only the second touchdown catch by a Seahawk receiver on the season. Robinson won today and won earlier in the year. They lead by 11. Let's go back to Kevin and Randy.
Thank you, Jim. Corin Robinson, one of the emerging stars among wide receivers in the AFC.
And there's the explosion factor. Eventually, even a bad team's going to explode on somebody.
27, third and 4. Plummer through the hands of Sanders, almost picked off on the deflection by Barton. And the Cardinals have got a punt.
It's not often on one play you can see a ball touch 4 hands.
But it did.
And you're going to see it again. I mean, Barton has a chance at it. Sanders has a chance at it. They both get both hands. You got one there. You got one there. You got one there. Actually, I was wrong. Barton had 3 chances at it. Sanders only had 1 hand.
Tim Brown is deep back, waiting the punt from Scott Player.
Once you hit 40, aren't you supposed to give that job up, returning punts?
He should. But he doesn't. 15 years in the NFL. He wants to return it from the 26. Brought down by Kevin Casper, who just joined this team. 12-yard return, 47-yard punt. Romanowski and the defense do their job. Now they give it back to Rich Gannon. Raiders have won 2 straight coming into today. The Cardinals have lost 4 in a row.
Well, Raider fans have done for Halloween what Hallmark did for St. Valentine's Day.
from the 36, first and 10. Gannon, good block by Garner, batted down at the line of scrimmage. I think maybe Russell Davis got his big paw. Second down and 10. Dumps it off to Jerry Porter. Blocked by Barrett Robbins, blocked by Jerry Rice, and pushed out of bounds by Adrian Wilson at about the 47. 12-yard pickup. Porter, but you said something in the first half, learning under Rice, learning under Brown. What incredible teachers for this bright young receiver, Jerry Porter.
Well, the smart thing for him, too, is to learn who to follow. And in this case, he's going to follow Barrett Robbins, his center, coming out from his center position. See, he kind of brushes back, and suddenly you're out on a screen. Green Bay runs great screens because their linemen know how to get out in front. The Oakland Raiders aren't quite as good because their linemen are so big and don't run well.
1st and 10 from the 47 of Oakland. They go up the middle, and a tackle made by McKinnon on Charlie Garner. And he's into Arizona territory at the 47.
But that whole focus of the line, talking about not being, really fast and quick, it's a trade-off. Every team has to decide. Dave McGinnis and the Cardinals have decided they want a great big offensive line. The Raiders have always had a big physical offensive line, and the teams that run the screen pass the best are the teams that have the smaller linemen that can get out there and run in the timing.
2nd down, long, 5 inside the 49. We'll call it the 48. Switching the play is quarterback Rich Gannon.
Look out for Gannon.
Found something he liked, and there it is. Rice one-on-one with David Barrett, gain of 9. Just like that, he throws the dart there to the 40 and a 1st down.
When I watch Rich Gannon play quarterback right now, it's almost like watching a man walk around a fruit tree. And eventually he comes to a nice piece of ripe fruit that's right at eye level. He reaches out and he grabs it. And that play right there to Jerry Rice was just a nice big piece of ripe fruit that Rich Gannon calls the audible and just kind of plucks it right off the tree.
Jerry Rice. 3 Super Bowl rings. 1st and 10 from the 40. Pitch out to Garner. There's a block by Roland Williams, the tight end, and finally brought down by Dwayne Starks. We talk about the age of Rice. He's 40. Rich Gannon is 37 this December. Has a quarterback that age ever done the things that he is doing right now?
Consistently? You could look at Cunningham's year with Minnesota like we talked about. You could look at some of the years that other quarterbacks have had, but you don't ever see what you're seeing right here is production, efficiency go up as you get older. I mean, experience is one thing, but actually throwing better, that usually doesn't happen to anybody.
Wheatley in the backfield, 2nd down and 8 from the 38. The bearing down on Gannon, who just throws another dart, caught by Wheatley and hit out of bounds by LeVar Woods.
And going back to Gannon again real quick as he's once again carving this turkey up, it is, there's some similarities to think about here between the quarterbacks we're watching today. When Rich Gannon first came into this league, he was thought of as kind of a running guy who could lead your team, but he couldn't stand back there and throw for you. Jake Plummer's been a real comeback guy who's mobile and runs around a little bit, but people say, he's not a real pocket quarterback. The system makes the players, and this system has made Rich Gannon just unbeatable.
3rd and 7, 37-yard line, no huddle for Gannon. He looks to his second option, going deep. He's got Rice, touchdown!
And when you're a coach, Kevin, and you opt for the big offensive line that can pass block like this for Rich Gannon, by Jerry Rice, the time to get down the field, if you don't pressure Rich Gannon, you don't have a shot. And when you're heading down the field, there's Jerry Rice, left side of your screen there, just runs, just go long. Raises his arm, and that's not real complicated, but it needs time. And he had all the time he needed because the offensive line did a great job.
Janikowski's extra point. 37-yard strike to 40-year-old Jerry Rice. Has there ever been a greater player in the NFL?
Nope.
Well, we're sitting up here just shaking our head about Jerry Rice, who just notched his 202nd career touchdown. It's a combination of runs and passes. His 72nd career 100-yard game.
There are entire organizations that haven't had 200 touchdowns in a decade.
He is something. The kick by Sebastian Janikowski. Kevin Casper at the 5-yard line, signed and passing the physical last night. Getting a nice block by Bush. It's a foot race with Williams. There is a flag. In fact, 2 flags down back inside the 40-yard line.
From both directions.
Yes.
One came from behind, one came from the front. I think that they saw the same thing.
Well, a 56-yard return could get wiped out, and it will.
I'll tell you, returning the kick is the one thing you don't need to practice to do.
Turn number 53. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Their special teams don't get penalized that often.
Michael Young, the linebacker, guilty of that hold.
Tough day for Dave McGinnis. Great day for the Raiders. Well, the Raiders are well represented here today with their fans.
And, you know, he doesn't keep that mask on the whole time because he's holding a half-empty beer. He's raised that thing at some time in the last few minutes.
Open sesame. 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Jake Plummer's got to throw, and that's exactly what he does. Going outside for Jason McGanley, a rookie out of Alabama. Spins his way for a first down. 12-yard pickup at the 26-yard line.
You know, Kevin, you hear that old thing, martial arts? He can take your heart out and then show it to you before you know you're dead. That describes Rich Gannon playing quarterback. And talk about a guy that can be detached. Is he excited? No, he's just doing what he's hired to do. I mean, dang it, why get excited? You're supposed to do this.
He expects to. You're right.
It's amazing. Like I said, this is a clinic.
Near the 25, 1st and 10, Marcel Schiff. Nice tackle made on the side by Travian Smith on a gain of 1. 2nd down and 9.
It's one thing that's really been impressive between Eric Barton and Tavian Smith and Romanowski. We've seen some excellent tackling by the Raider linebackers today when they've gotten their chances.
They were telling us last night that the Raider defensive playbook is almost as thick as the offensive playbook.
I find that hard to believe.
Wow.
But they have every imaginable front in Chuck Bresnahan's defense.
2nd down, 9 from the 25. Plummer hit by Trace Armstrong as he throws it outside.
You know, and Trace Armstrong's the one that told us about that. But you know, and Trace would be a great guy to talk about. He's president of the Players Association, just a real smart guy. But you know, this staff has been together forever. For all the John Gruden baloney this offseason, people forget. You know, they just made Bill Callahan the head coach because he deserves it for one thing. But this is basically the same staff. It's been together for a lot of years.
How does Armstrong pick apart an offensive line when he attacks it?
Well, normally it's very slowly, methodically. Now he's got Leonard Davis, 75. We should take a look at that matchup because 75 is a mountain. You just don't run around him.
2nd down, 9. They get 3rd down and 9 at the 25. And delay a game. Or movement, excuse me. Movement on that line.
Prior to the snap, ball starts. 67, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Plummer with the throw, almost picked off, incomplete.
Bill Romanowski had that ball right through his thumbs. And when you put your hands up like that, just if you're sitting at home, put your hands up in front of you like that. You see that, you know, the old Diamond Dallas Page, the diamond you have there in your hands. Well, the ball went right through the diamond for Bill Romanowski, right through the thumbs.
Throws into triple coverage on the play as well. Scott Players had a busy day. 5th punt of the afternoon coming up for him. Tim Brown is deep back. Little rush in the punt. Sails, a flag is down. Brown fair catches the punt at the 43. 37-yard punt.
Coming from that deep, that official is watching the end man in the line of scrimmage for holding. That's going to be holding against the Raiders.
Special teams came back to bite them last week. They had blocked field goal.
Holding. 33 on the receiving team while the kick was in the air. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down.
Raiders get it back at their 33. Rich Gannon back out there. He has thrown 3 touchdown passes today.
Dr. Gannon.
Excuse me.
He's a cardiologist. He's doing a little heart surgery.
He's taking the heart out, like you said before. Runner in the backfield. He's got 79 yards on the ground and 11 carries. Rice is on the move. Garner, a block by Middleton. And a race with the stiff arm into David Barrett's Arizona defense. Out of bounds at about the 39. A gain of 6 on the play. That's a big body to be moving outside, but Middleton pulled right with his running back.
Well, yeah, it's momentum. Because when Middleton gets going, And there's a lot to get going.
It's downhill.
It's no matter which direction, if it's uphill or downhill, he's moving downhill speed-wise. And look, think of yourself as a corner. You're a 190-pound corner. You're looking at a guy that's probably about 350, 360, going as fast as he can, headed right for you.
Second down, 4th at 39. Garner again, a block by John Ritchie. And Adrian Wilson falls on the stumbling Charlie Garner. Thompson was there as well. Wade Thompson. There's Ritchie, who has not carried the ball all season long, but is a devastating blocker and a terrific presence in the locker room.
He's a little guard.
Yeah.
He's a little guard out of Stanford that he looks. I played with a guy named Phil Francis, who was a fullback out of Stanford. And he reminds me a lot of Phil Francis because he's kind of the anti-Stanford guy. You know, he looks like he should have come out of that Ted Kaczynski's, Unabomber cabin somewhere. He got the beard and the weird-looking thing.
3rd down and 4. First down strike, caught by Gardner, and there he goes down the sideline. A race with Dwayne Starks, who gets him from behind. Charlie Garner may be as good a receiving running back as you will find in the NFL. Galloping 42 yards right there for a first down.
And one thing you have to remember with the Raiders is what you see isn't always what they're then going to do to you. You saw a fake reverse. You saw a lead block by Ritchie. You saw a run by Garner, and then bang, they flip it out to Garner, and he goes 30, 40, 50 yards down the field. Mark Trestman and Bill Callahan have got as versified an offense as we've seen in the NFL in years here in Oakland, because they'll give you about every look. You've got to defend everything. It's not like I can go into a game and go, I'm going to take this guy away. Because if you take this guy away, let's say you take Garner away, then you got to worry about Wheatley, and you got to worry about Brown and Rice and Porter, who's like we talked about earlier, that new young lion where the main's coming out, because he's got himself some touchdown passes today in Mark Trestman's offense.
19-yard line, 1st and 10, Tyrone Wheatley. Hit low by Russell Davis on a gain of 5. To the 14.
There's a good example of the power you have to look. But the bottom line with the Raiders is Rich Gannon and Jerry Rice has got to have to be your #1 priority. He might be 40. He might be about a lot of records, but he's still about beating you. And no matter how he does it, short, medium, or long for a touchdown, I guarantee you, I played with this guy. Jerry Rice will beat you, period. And another 100-yard game for Jerry Rice.
And a 300-yard game for Rich Gannon, the 8th of the season. 2nd down, 5 on the 14. Flag is down. Gannon to the end zone, caught for a touchdown. Tim Brown, but a flag is down.
That was thrown right at the snap. If it wasn't motion, it might have been Arizona lining up offsides.
Brown has not caught a touchdown pass, and it goes for naught. But just to finish that off, Brown has not caught a touchdown pass in 7 weeks.
Number 84, offense. Lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
That was Jerry Porter, who's got a couple touchdown passes himself today.
Well, the football masters, Rice and Brown, haven't taught young Porter everything. We have to get around to that lining up onside part.
10 Raider penalties this afternoon. Gannon is about as relaxed a looking quarterback in the pocket as any quarterback you'll see.
Well, he talked about being patient, and he's literally almost detached. It's almost like he's playing a video game. It's almost like he's sitting on a couch, just picking a defense apart with a video game.
2nd and 10. The shovel pass. That's incomplete. It's incomplete to Wheatley. Boy, the first thing you want to say is, fumble, but it was forward. It's an incomplete pass. Now 3rd and 10 coming up. Rice has a couple of catches on 3rd down today, and it will be 3rd down and 10 for Gannon, who last week threw for 297 yards, today for 331.
You know, for Jerry Rice, talk about his 2 catches on 3rd down. Coming into this game, 30 of his 31 catches on 3rd down, 30 of his 31 last catches were on 3rd down were for first downs.
19-yard line, 3rd down and 10. Gannon going deep to the end zone and intended for Rice, broken up beautifully by Dwayne Starks. He can only smile.
Well, I mean, Jerry's like the IRS. I mean, eventually he's going to get you. I mean, It's amazing to watch this guy do what he does, and Dwayne Starks does a very, very nice job. But and you should stop mentioning age with Jerry Rice, because it's not only irrelevant to his style of play, it's irrelevant to his body.
Janikowski from 37 yards away, the Leckler hold, and the Raiders tack on 3 more. 38-14 Oakland. Raiders on their way to their 3rd consecutive win. 7-play, 48-yard drive on the field goal by Janikowski.
You can only hope the basketball team keeps it a lot closer than the football team. That was, God, that was. And everybody's got an alma mater and a favorite team, and after going to UCLA and winning a Rose Bowl, and I'm in their Hall of Fame there in the athletic department.
You're getting inducted to your high school Hall of Fame in a couple of weeks?
They're honoring me, yeah.
Well, you're going to be running out of Hall of Fames here in just a second.
You honor an alumni usually for money. I'm realistic. I think it's wonderful.
I know that's not why they're putting you in there. Here's Janikowski. And Kevin Casper from the 1-yard line for the Arizona Cardinals. And he got a nice block ahead from Bush and out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Dominant 3rd quarter by the Oakland Raiders, as you see. Jake Plummer has thrown a pick. He's turned it over twice from the 35, 1st and 10. Down the middle he goes to Marcel Shipp, one of the few bright spots for the Cardinals today. Hit by Sam Adams and steamrolled at the 42. Gain of 7.
You remember your old birthday, when they give you a few cracks for your birthday and then one to grow on? Marcel Shipp is kind of one to grow on for Arizona. He's a guy that you kind of now can put in your back pocket, because maybe you've found somebody. Maybe this young guy can be the difference in your offense and really make up for Thomas Jones, who as a 1st-round pick has been pretty much a bust.
That's the last play of the 3rd quarter. They've been booing Jake Plummer today here in Tempe. Oakland on top. 3 Gannon touchdown passes. A touchdown run by Wheatley. Also one by Garner, and a field goal by Janikowski adds up to a 38-14 Raider lead as we go to the 4th. We start the 4th quarter here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. 2nd down and long, 3 for Jake Plummer and the Cardinals outside the 41. And Plummer throws outside, drops by tight end Freddie Jones. 2nd drop for Jones today. In the East, the Miami Dolphins win their 2nd consecutive game at home. They beat Baltimore last week. They took care of San Diego today. The Jets won again. They're suddenly hot. New England won today over Buffalo.
And next up for the Jets are the Oakland Raiders.
I'm sorry, the Jets beat Buffalo. Yeah, now the Jets have a trip across the country, and they'll take on the Raiders.
Personally, I'm still not real convinced and sold on the Miami Dolphins. They can hold up for a whole year, because they have in the last 10.
3rd down, long, 3. Plummer right on the money, but broken up beautifully on the play by Charles Woodson, who dives in front of McAdley, and the Cardinals have got a punt. And here is the AFC North.
That tie that Pittsburgh and Atlanta had a couple weeks ago is going to come back to haunt a lot of football teams trying to make the playoffs. We haven't seen one of those in a lot of years, and it's going to be a huge factor.
Player to punt. Tim Brown lets it drop inside the 10. Great Cardinal bounce. Down to the 3, and Kobe Reinhart downs it there. 55-yard punt. Raiders leave it 38-14 on the Arizona Cardinals. 14:40 to play. Great day for Rich Gannon. 3 touchdown passes. And from his 3, 1st and 10. Outside, Charlie Garner drops it. 2nd down and 10. You don't see that very often. Tennessee lost today against Baltimore. Colts play tonight in Denver.
And we'll be in New York next week for that Titans and Giants game. And this AFC South is going to be another one of the 9-7 kind of feel to it by the time this whole thing is done with. Yeah, because Indy is not bad on offense. It's been a little erratic with Peyton Manning and company, but defense is where they've made the most improvement lately.
Second down and 10 from the 3. Sims with the block, buys time for Gannon, who throws a little bit short to John Ritchie, and then hit by Ray Thompson. Brought down at about, they call it incomplete? No, they call it completed pass. Gain of 4 to the 7. Couldn't spot. It looked like they were going back in the end zone to huddle again. Anyway, it is a completed pass, although it was caught very, very low. And the West in the AFC.
I think if you had to pick one team you should be careful of, in spite of the 440 some odd offensive yards this offense for Oakland has through a little more than 3 quarters, Denver would be the team I'd watch in the West.
On the 7th, 3rd down and 6. Gannon, plenty of time. Goes to Brown, has to get to the 13 and is down at about the 12. About a yard shy of the first, and Oakland will punt for the first time in this second half. They had scored on their 3 previous second half possessions.
Yeah, and there isn't an offense in the NFL right now that coming out at the beginning of the game, going in at the end of the first half, or coming out at the end of halftime does it better offensively than Oakland. Oakland get that first score and the last score of a half and do something like first possession of a half better than anybody in the game.
Shane Leckler to punt. Arnold Jackson watches it go out of bounds. What is interesting about that miss by Brown, not capturing a first down, it's the first time all season on 3rd down that he has not gotten a first down. Nonetheless, the Raiders rolling on the Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, unless they get a dramatic comeback, are headed for their 5th consecutive loss. Raiders headed for their 3rd consecutive win. Best beginning field position for Arizona this afternoon from the 46, 1st and 10. Marcel Shipp in the backfield, taking the place of the injured Thomas Jones, who broke his hand at his home on Friday. That's caught by Frank Sanders, brought down by Eric Barton, spun at the 38-yard line, about a flag thrown at the end of that play, about 2 yards shy of the first down on the game. And against the Oakland Raiders.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 50. Defense. 15 yards. The end of the run. Down.
Well, Eric Barton picks it up.
This is kind of what the Cardinals needed more of earlier. I mean, up until this possession, their best field position to start a drive was their own 22. And they've had to go the long way of the field every time they've had it, except for this one. And offensively, their numbers show it.
With the first down at the Raider 23, Jake Plummer with 3 receivers deployed. Plummer hit and brought down by Sam Adams. That's the first sack by the Raiders today, and the first sack in 6 games by Adams.
But Jake Plummer has to feel like he just got hit by an avalanche with feet. I mean, you're getting ready to step up into the pocket to see what was going on, and suddenly Big 95 just steamrolls him. I mean, he's look at that. That's just kind of like those speed bumps in the supermarket lot. Just bump, bump.
Big bumps.
What was that? That was Jake.
Second down and 20. 33-yard line with the loss. Plummer this time across the middle. It's caught by Freddie Jones. Brought down by Romanowski at the 27-yard line. Gain of 10 on the play. The NFC East. Philly at 7-3. Giants at 6-4, and they are losing right now in Houston to the expansion Texans.
You know, and everybody in this country seems to want to bury Philadelphia because they don't have Donovan McNabb. And granted, he's a very valuable player, but Andy Reid is a heck of a football coach. He'll find a way to try to make up for some of his contribution.
Plummer on 3rd down and 10, running for his life. Here comes Romanowski. There's the pass, and it's caught. Sanders at the 10, and he's got a first down. A 16-yard pickup on 3rd and 10.
That's that matchup you were talking about earlier. Jake had to roll out to get it, but he got Torrey James working against Frank Sanders. It's a very short list, in case you were wondering mentally, of quarterbacks that can throw that ball heading to their left like that, running as fast as Jake was, and be as accurate with that ball as Jake Plummer was.
They have not gone to James's side, Torrey James's side, all that often. First and 10 at the 11. But they should, because they've had success. Plaummer. McAdley can't hold on. Charles Woodson is over there defending. Second and 10. This team has lost Arte Jenkins, very effective player, and David Boston. You can just imagine how much more powerful this offense would be with those two players alone.
Well, we talked about Frank Sanders, and I mean, you've got a draft pick in McAdley and not a high draft pick, mind you.
They're number 5.
And you've got Frank Sanders, and then you've got guys. And Poole may eventually be a wide receiver in this league, and Soliday may be a wide receiver, and Jackson may be a wide receiver, but right now they're guys.
Second down and 10 from the 11 for Plaummer. Out of the pocket, he rolls and fires for a touchdown pass into the end zone. Arnold Jackson, who got a touchdown last week in Philadelphia, catches one here in the fourth quarter against the Raiders.
Well, Arnold Jackson might be a guy, but he's now a guy with another touchdown. Two to his credit, and Jake Plaummer moving and running to his right, as a good mobile quarterback will. As accurate as he was going to the left, he's just as accurate going to the right.
Second touchdown pass by Jake Plaummer today. Ship has a touchdown run, and that has accounted for all the Arizona scoring. They're going to go for 2.
Three wide receivers.
Sanders on the move. Ship in the backfield. Rolling out of the pocket, Plaummer, and broken up nicely on the play by Terrence Shaw. So they fail on the 2-point try. But they do get in on Jake Plummer's second touchdown pass this afternoon. This an 11-yard strike to Arnold Jackson. Cardinals haven't died. That's what their coach has said has been the best thing about them so far, is they have not quit on him or on themselves.
But the reality of the situation, talent-wise, this is like a middleweight fighting a heavyweight. It's just not the same tools.
Bill Gramatica. Line drive boot. Marcus Knight. Good pickup at the 15-yard line. And hit and brought down by Ray Thompson. Flag has been thrown back where the ball was kicked off at about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, the parade's still going on.
Offside on the kicking team, number 53. That penalty is declined. Oakland will take the ball, first down.
NFC North, Green Bay is losing right now in Tampa 21-7 with about 7 minutes to play. So they're going to lose their second consecutive game.
You want motivation in your Tampa Bay? You come out with a better record, you don't have to go to Green Bay and play in that freezing cold weather come playoff time where you've never won.
Cannon on first and 10. Intended for Rice. Ricochets up on the deflection. The coverage by David Barrett. Second down and 10. In the NFC South, you got the Buccaneers looking at 9-2, and they had a good team, as you mentioned before, Atlanta, with another convincing win today. They are quietly creeping up in the South.
Yeah, there's your 2002 surprise team. Everybody likes to pick one out at the beginning of the year. Not many people picked out the Atlanta Falcons, but they are playing on both sides of the ball right now. Extremely solid. Then you add Michael Vick, and it's a deadly combination.
Or New Orleans at 7-4. Second down and 10. Garner blocked by Ritchie. Charlie Garner in the backfield. A flag has been thrown. And Adrian Wilson, among others, there to help make the stop on the elusive Charlie Garner. And against the Raiders.
Holding, 86, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
It's second down and 17. Gannon fires downfield, incomplete, looking for Rice. Entailed by Lassiter. Third and 17.
Hey, we're taking our tour around the league here. Continues with San Francisco and St. Louis. St. Louis losing today to the ball coach.
Washington.
And the Redskins.
Yep, Redskins.
That's a big loss, especially when you consider, the whole Kurt Warner thing and everything else. I happen to have been of the opinion that you know, it would have been a lot better to stay where you were, stay on the horse you were with. Conveniently for the Rams, the bad finger meant Bolger couldn't go.
Third down, 17-22. Bumping it off to Wheatley through his hands and incomplete. As a player, did you find it hard to concentrate when you had a sizable lead going to the fourth quarter?
Well, you know, if you're Bill Callahan, this is something to build on. I mean, and he's not happy, and he shouldn't be happy because his offense is sloppy. They've dropped the ball. This is their second straight 3 and out. But this is something you spend time on during the week. You're getting ready for the Jets next week. What is your emphasis for next week? Stay clean, stay focused, keep performing, keep focusing, keep getting the offense down efficiently down the field, and don't let up, because the last 2 possessions are let up.
A lot of time left, too, as Leckler gets ready to send this downfield. And a flag has been thrown as LeVar Woods got under Leckler. It was 4th and a mile, 4th and about 17. Penalty is on the Cardinals.
That's running in. That's not running into the kicker. Not roughing the kicker. That's running into the kicker.
Right.
It's not an automatic first down.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, number 56.
Whoa.
Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
He just sailed under him, trying to avoid him.
Roughing? Bill Carollo is our referee. He's been calling this game a long time. Come underneath. I guess it's that plant leg when he comes down, makes contact, that institutes. That's not roughing. I'm sorry. That's running into the kicker. That ought to be 5 yards and a re-kick. That wasn't even a good acting job. You know, Leckler ran to the sideline, was kind of holding his hand like, I'm okay, I'm okay. You should be okay. Nobody hit you.
Yeah.
You know, I dare you to find much in the way of contact here. Just barely a little boost into the foot.
Slid right under him. 1st and 10, Charlie Gardner. Great block by Charlie. Rookie tight end. That opens up a gain of 7 up to the 47-yard line.
I tell you, Barry Sims and Matt Stinchcomb have had some very big blocks at times this year, and Jolly added to the mess on the left side, just caving that whole thing down on that one.
So Garner picks up 7, setting up 2nd down and 3. Garner 95 yards on the ground today.
And Lincoln Kennedy and his offensive line wanted to make a point of getting a game like this where they could run the ball and feel good and get their chance. Now's when you run it.
44-yard line. And submarining up to the 49, and a gain of 5 again is Charlie Gardner. And he's got the first down.
Johnson and Ray Thompson.
You still have not seen any resignation in the play of the Cardinals today.
Yeah, they're not a team that's going to lay down. And that's because of Dave McGinnis and the kind of coach he is. I mean, they've kind of brought a penknife to a gunfight today. They haven't had quite the weaponry they need to stay with the Raiders, but they're not going to quit.
Gannon on 1st and 10. Little play action. Being chased by Dennis Johnson, among others, along with Marcus Bell. And he goes out of bounds, scrambling to the 44, picking up about 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see some of the people that are of the opinion that mobile quarterbacks aren't what you want in the NFL, as Michael Vick does more and more in this league. How important that position and that ability is. You know, his cousin Aaron Brooks in New Orleans is another quarterback that can really buy time with his feet, but there's not a better one doing it for the whole package right now than Rich Gannon here in Oakland.
The Giants just went up on Houston late in the game in Texas, 2nd down 4. Look at Tyrone Wheatley, burst down to the 32. Great acceleration, 13-yard romp, and another first down for the Raiders. Doing it exactly the way they want to. Running the ball, eating up the clock, and flexing their muscle every step of the way.
Well, this is what they want to do at this point of the game, and also at this point of the season. We mentioned it early in the game. You've got to get this type of running going. Not only the Garner run, but the power of Wheatley. And Arizona has allowed right now a season-high 481 yards to this Raider offense.
33-yard line, 1st and 10. Gannon going deep down the middle, intercepted by Kwame Lassiter. Lassiter picks off his second pass of the season. Gannon throws his second interception in the last month. It's his 9th of the year. But he has thrown 3 touchdowns today. Cardinals stop Oakland. Cardinal quarterback Jake Plaummer has had 20 career comebacks. Does he have a 21st in his pocket today?
Yeah, Rich Gannon for the Oakland Raiders, though, on the other side from Plaummer. We'll get a chance to watch him try to make a comeback, but Gannon is so detached. I mean, he's unemotional. Jake's a fiery quarterback. Rich almost seems unconcerned.
On the 7 after the Lassiter interception, here comes Plaummer being decked once, hit twice, and brought down. Ron Coleman was there, among others. 2nd down, 14 with the sack, back at the 3. Marcel Shipp held on to by Coleman, runs into Rod Woodson, then torn down at the 10-yard line. Gain of 7. This kid has been very impressive, the most decorated player in the history of the football program at UMass. 135 yards.
He's done it in chunks, too. It's not like they've pounded the ball 35 times with Marcel Shipp. He's had the big plays, but the big plays on the ground just have not come in the second half.
3rd down and 7 from the 10. And Plaummer standing in the pocket. Ball was deflected, and it goes incomplete.
Well, I know Sean Alexander, he either gets 6 yards or 160 yards. There's no in between with this guy.
Fair caught back at the 37-yard line by Tim Brown. Gannon and the Raider offense take over on the 38, 1st and 10. Pitch out to Tyrone Wheatley. Running by McKinnon. Banged by Dwayne Starks, and knocked out of bounds at about the 44. Wheatley, who struggled after being a high pick with the Giants, went to camp with Miami, let go there, and vacuumed in by the Raiders, and promptly gained 1,000 yards and helped them, along with Gannon and the other great signees by this team, to wonderful heights and 2 straight Western Division titles.
Well, the Raiders came into this game averaging over 401 yards a game in offense, and they're within a 1st down or so of making that 500 yards. 486 right now total offense for Rich Gannon in this offense for Oakland.
Marcus Knight is in motion, 44-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Pitch out to Wheatley. Gary Sims tried to throw a block and a loss in the play of about a yard. Well, the thing about Rich Gannon is it's hard to get a feel for how he is emotionally, because when he throws a touchdown, as he did here to Jerry Rice, while the crowd erupts and his teammates go crazy, he calmly watches on. And then moments ago, when he throws an interception, and a lot of quarterbacks might be kicking themselves, he just strolls to the sideline and says, "Oh, all right."
oh well, job not done. It's amazing. You know, that last play by Kwame Lassiter, that interception, was a great play by Lassiter, almost baiting Rich Gannon.
43-yard line, 3rd down and 5. Wheatley in the backfield, and everybody moved early. Well, Gannon is a no-nonsense guy. There may not be another quarterback
5-yard penalty, 3rd down,
who studies as much as Rich Gannon. Is, not a rah-rah guy as we have just seen right there. He is truly a leader by his display of studying during the week, of his emotions on the field during a game. His leadership is how he acts and not what he says.
Well, part of his strength is his experiences, not his experience. You learn, human beings don't learn by positive reinforcement usually. It's usually by negative reinforcement and bad things. A lot of bad things have happened to Rich, but he's learned from them, and it's what really makes him the quarterback he is.
3rd down and 10 from the 38. Gannon strolls back in the pocket. Look at the time he's got to throw. Here comes Wakefield with the late hit, incomplete. Looking for Wheatley on the side. Bo Richter, kid off the practice squad, caught a couple touchdown passes mid-season at San Diego. People thought he would emerge, but he has been staying off in the shadows, but does catch one today in Seattle. And so now the punt by the Raiders, out of bounds at about, they're still marking it off on the sideline, the 28-yard line. That's where Jake Plaummer And the Arizona Cardinals will take over. You know, we touched on Holmgren just a second ago. Can a guy successfully, I guess we've seen a couple different circumstances like this in the league, be as effective a coach as he is a GM, or as GM as he is a coach?
Well, one of the critical things to remember is we've seen teams win in this league without a great quarterback, but with a good defense. We've seen them work with not much defense, but a great offense. None of those really fit the Seattle Seahawks. They don't have a strength. What are they strong at? They're strong at Mike Holmgren's reputation. Ted Thompson in the front office does a great job personnel. I mean, that's their strength is probably not on the football field. They need to get the strength more where it matters.
Deflected pass caught on the ricochet by tight end Freddie Jones up to the 29. Gain of about a yard. 2nd down and 9.
And it doesn't help that Seattle kind of stepped into the mess that is the NFC West now.
Yes.
Arizona found out about the NFC West this year, having to go against the Niners and the Rams, and it's a whole different setup. And I know they've been in the NFC East here in Arizona and how great Smash Mouth is in the East, and yada, 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 yada. But you talk about some action and some offense, they've run into a lot of it being on this West Coast.
You're kind of a, when we talk about general managers and putting teams together, you're kind of an amateur GM yourself, looking as you do at the different parts of this league. What would you do if you were the Cardinals? How would you fix this problem in Arizona?
Well, you're going to go with size inside and speed outside. They've got the size thing covered, especially on offense in the line. Defensive line, think of all the draft choices, the Swans and the Wadsworths, and they go down the list, the Simeon Rice, and down. They've had a lot of bad failed draft choices who are consensus good players that haven't worked out in the NFL.
Freddie Jones on 2nd 9 gets the pass for a gain of 2 to the 31.
But you know, it's here in St. Louis, here in Arizona. I think the key would be speed. If I had to concentrate on one thing for a football team, a tough team that has talent and has speed to be a deadly combination.
3rd and 7 from the 31 for Jake Plummer. Wanting to go deep, and he's got his receiver McGadley downfield, and he overthrows him, incomplete. Cardinals have got a punt. Would you re-sign and pick up your option on the quarterback, Jake Plummer?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. I made a comment the other day in the papers here in Arizona that if you want to go cheap and put the money somewhere else, it's not a bad idea. I mean, you need it in other places. But I will guarantee you one thing. If Jake Plummer is not back with Arizona, he's playing with somebody. And that's somebody he's going to play with. The odds are he's going to be winning with that football team because he's a winning quarterback.
Clear to punt again. Tim Brown back, and he'll signal for and be allotted a fair catch back at the 27. He has
a silver and black jacket.
Yeah. It's Wheatley on 1st and 10 for a gain of 2 to the 30. Raiders take on the Jets next week. That'll be a beauty on Monday night. And Randy and I will be in San Diego for the Raiders and the Chargers, and that could have huge consequences in the West.
West. Kansas City, Denver, San Diego. Those games are where this division will be won this year. If you're an AFC West fan, you don't have to look any further than those 3 dates to tell you and to find out who's going to win the NFC West.
Arizona will play at Kansas City next week. Chiefs have gone to 5-6, and because of that, they're in deep trouble now in the AFC West.
Look at the offenses. You got Kansas City's offense will be going against this defense that just got lit up by the Raiders. Then you got the St. Louis offense that's waiting to crank on somebody again. San Francisco's offense that's very diversified, much like Oakland's offense. And then Denver with Mike Shanahan.
2nd down and 8 at the 30. Tough day for Dave McGinnis, the guy who was the linebacker coach for those great Chicago Bears teams back in the mid-'80s and into the early 90s. Brown's got Wheatley in the backfield. He gets the pitch out. Looks like the University of Michigan. Great block by Jerry Porter. And down the sideline goes Tyrone Wheatley. Another wide receiver block opens the door, and is knocked out of bounds at the Cardinal 34, a pickup of 36 yards. Thank you, Jim. Could you see that? Callahan against Gruden. Would that be something else?
Tampa still doesn't get the money or the draft picks back.
Right. First and 10. Nice defensive play by Ray Thompson, tripping up Tyrone Wheatley. Now they're 9-2.
Right.
Their offense still isn't prolific the way it was predicted to be, but good enough to win and good enough to beat Green Bay.
They're all about defense.
So now, how do you survey the landscape of the NFC with teams like San Francisco and now Atlanta and Green Bay, and let's put Tampa Bay in there at 9-2. They got the best record in the NFC.
Yeah, it's they've been in this position before where they're sort of looking like they're just strutting down the street, getting ready to go to the playoffs. It's can they keep this whole thing going? And they whistling and looking up in the air, and somebody comes along and puts one on their chin.
2nd and 13 at the 37. Wheatley stopping on a dime, then wrapped up by Fred Wakefield and brought down. Loss of about 2 and to the 39.
I'll tell you another thing. Bill Callahan has done a wonderful job so far with the Raiders. And somebody that doesn't get credit in a positive way, I think, enough is probably Al Davis. Al Davis made what is still going to prove to be, I think, a wonderful deal with letting Gruden go to Tampa. You look at the draft picks 2 years from now that come out of that deal. And if they can do as well next year as they did this year with those picks that Al Davis got them, this team is going to stay right where it is because they'll keep mixing the youth with the older players, which has been a great formula for a lot of years here in Oakland.
3rd and 15. Wheatley again and from behind, brought down by Marcus Bell. It's a gain of 6. Well, they knew something. Davis knew something that maybe the rest of us didn't know, is that there was a good backup in Callahan to take the place of Gruden.
Any smart executive or owner always plans for the future, and Al did.
Raiders have totaled 524 yards on offense today. They lead at 38-20. Gannon's got 3 touchdown passes. Janikowski is lining up for his 2nd field goal attempt. He knocked his first through from 37. This will be 51. This would be a season long.
1 step. Check out the run-up. He's changed this.
From 3 steps to 1.
Yep. He's got enough leg. He's going for accuracy and consistency.
Wow, that would have been good from 61 yards. But he knocks it in from 51. And 2nd today by Sebastian Janikowski. That is a season long for him.
Well, this football team, Kevin, is whipping out weapons everywhere. When you think about what this team can do to you, you almost forget about Janikowski and the leg that he has and what he can do for Bill Callahan and how far out he can score from.
How about just his kickoffs alone? The fact that he can
touchbacks?
Yes.
Oh yeah. That's invaluable. I mean, that's we talk about the hidden yardage factor. There's no hidden yardage when you're doing that. That just you're starting on the 20. Period. End of report.
Every time. He leads the NFL in touchbacks. He had 16 coming into today, and I think he's had 1 today. he is bigger than anything, better than Evian water in France. But at one time that
they bottled Evian water in Torrance. Did you know that?
I did not know that. But again, actually maybe Switzerland for all I know.
Let's see if Janikowski can keep this length in his kicks. He's even shortened the run up on his kickoffs.
It's like shortening up your backswing in golf, I guess, huh? Line drive boot. Picked up on a bounce by Banks, the backup tight end. And he vacuums it in and then plows ahead to the 40-yard line. Mike Banks, a rookie out of Iowa. 18-yard return. Cardinals have 1 timeout, 1:48 to play. Jake Plaummer will go back on out there and see what he can accomplish over the next minute 48. Plaummer on 1st and 10. Here comes the rush by Coleman, throwing outside, incomplete, looking for his tight end, Freddie Jones. All right, we told you that Green Bay loses to Tampa Bay. Houston now is up with 67 seconds remaining on the New York Giants. Seattle, what a high-scoring, fun game that must have been, 39-32 over the Kansas City Chiefs.
And Miami spanked San Diego earlier today. I want to go back to that Houston Giant game. You got to be kidding me.
2nd down and 10 from the 40. Plaummer comes out of a congested pocket, chased by Ron Coleman. Throws on the fly and intercepted. And by Torrey James, the guy that Plaummer criticized in the press earlier this week, comes back to pick him off. And Plummer has thrown his second interception and the third Arizona turnover this afternoon.
With a minute 35, I think Rich Gannon or whoever comes in at quarterback here for the Raiders just going to church. They're just kneeling down.
It's Gannon. They'll be kneeling.
They won't let Tuiasosopo get his letter.
I don't know why.
I guys can't understand that.
Gruden drafted this kid, and they liked him when they got him out of.
Oh, he's a winner, and he's a son of an old teammate of mine. Yes. I played with Manu.
Yep.
Tuiasosopo, defensive tackle for the UCLA Bruins, and played for the Niners and the Seahawks. But this kid, Marcus Tuiasosopo, is a first-class winning quarterback who's going to get to learn behind one of the best.
What a way to finish in Tampa Bay.
There's a test waiting to happen there.
Wow.
I think they should have hid the coffee pot from Warren. He seems a little bit too geeked.
What is the league doing something like that? What should they do in something like that?
It shouldn't be tolerated. Period.
Associate Director of today's game, Fred Johnson. Broadcast Associate Jason Headings. Technical Manager Rick Godwin. Special thanks to our statisticians Pat McGrath and Gary Brown.